Find your red, white, blue, and all the other fabulous Ford vehicle colors in stock at 9 Mile and Mac. Celebrating 80 years and delivering to your home or office.
Royal Bryan, that's the best deal around.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk. Now, here's special guest host, political strategist Jason Rowe.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to be here. Good morning.
Chris is off today, and they told me, they said Jason Rowe was coming in. I said, "Oh boy, here we're gonna act up." Chris is not here. Jamie's not here. They left the boys at the house,
and I'm here on 4 hours of sleep.
Oh man, that game last night was crazy.
Yeah. My frustration though with these official replays, regulation NBA games should not be 3 hours long.
No, absolutely not. They take just entirely too long,
and it's too many of them. I mean,
yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm tired of the 3-pointer. I think we got to get rid of it. Watching people walk 20 yards to shoot a 30-foot jumper and then turn around and walk back,
and nobody likes to drive anymore.
There's no inside the paint game anymore. So we got to get rid of the 3.
The Knicks, they rallied from 29 points down, largest comeback in finals history, to beat the San Antonio Spurs 107-106. So now the Knicks are up 3-1. They could seal it Saturday in San Antonio. Man.
Well, and the way they've been playing on the road.
Yeah, no, they have. So
I hope it comes back to New York, because one of the fun things is the Garden is the Garden, but seeing all the celebrities courtside is pretty fun.
Definitely. We had some storms roll through here yesterday, and, it was a dramatic rescue on the Detroit River after that severe weather. The Detroit Fire Department and the U.S. Coast Guard responded to the scene about 7:30 last night. Officials say high winds and fast-moving weather flipped several vessels, sending 12 people plunging into the water. In total, 20 people were stranded on 7 different sailboats. According to authorities, all 12 were successfully pulled from the river, while another 6 boaters managed to make it back to shore unassisted. No serious injuries were reported.
20 people. That's nuts.
I mean, and I guess it was nice outside, and from what people told me, there were some people at the Tigers game. They said, man, it looked fine, and then all of a sudden,
during the game, I kept getting, the game interrupted for these weather alerts, and I looked outside and everything's fine, and I was texting people in Washington, are like, are you getting this storm?
Right.
Everybody's, and even there, it wasn't happening, and I don't think in Bloomfield Hills, it didn't get around to about 9:30, 9:45, and it was 10 minutes long.
Yeah, and so I'm sure a lot of people were out on their boats and stuff, and maybe a lot of them, got taken by surprise, because you will wonder, why would you be out there when the weather's like that? But I think a lot of those people just got taken by surprise.
The forecast and the weather didn't match up for a few hours.
It didn't. Meanwhile, Michigan State Police are investigating after a body was discovered in the water near Belle Isle yesterday, just before noon. The U.S. Coast Guard recovered the body at about 11:55 yesterday morning during an investigation that began after an abandoned vehicle was found on the island. Now, authorities say they're working to identify the individual and determine whether that abandoned car was connected to the discovery in any type of way. State police have stated there is no danger to the public, and that investigation is ongoing. We got some good news on the UAW American Axle strike, that 10-day strike that threatened to cripple production at GM's most profitable trucks may soon be over. The UAW announcing a tentative agreement with American Axle in Three Rivers. Highlighting the deal is a major wage hike, setting the new minimum shop floor pay at $30 an hour, reversing concessions made during the 2008 recession. The contract also guarantees steady health care premiums, extra holidays, and $2,000 ratification bonus. About 1,000 workers walked out on May 31st, impacting parts of heavy-duty Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Union members will now review the details before casting a final ratification vote to return to work.
It's a good payday, $30 an hour.
Yeah. And they worked it out. And I mean, listen, Sean Fain is a really tough negotiator, and that coupled with the fact that these parts could really, cripple GM's, high selling vehicles.
Good thing they didn't drag this out. Good thing they brought it to conclusion. I mean, the auto industry is facing enough challenges with the tariffs and the international competition we have right now.
Yeah. The city of Detroit has lost its legal battle against the U.S. Census Bureau over how the federal government counts its residents. A federal judge denied Detroit's motion to block the Bureau's controversial county cap rule. City officials argue the rule systematically undercounts Detroit by artificially deflating city population numbers to fit lower county estimates, costing the city vital federal funding. Despite the loss, the city did win a major concession, forcing the Bureau to stop penalizing Detroit's numbers when abandoned homes are demolished. Even with the disputed formula, latest estimates show Detroit's population grew to over 649,000 residents in 2025, making its third consecutive year of growth.
Very marginal growth. Very marginal.
But I mean, you got to crawl before you walk. I mean, when you listen, when you had so many years prior where people were leaving and it was going the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, to get a few coming this way.
And just if we break even, it's a good day.
Exactly. So also, Dylan Larkin, trade talks are intensifying around the Red Wings captain, and the list of destinations are beginning to grow as well. Insiders confirm the 30-year-old center has expanded the list of teams for which he'll waive his no-trade clause. Contenders like Florida, Dallas, Vegas, Tampa Bay are among those rumored to be in the mix for the consistent 30-goal scorer who requested a trade last week after Detroit missed the playoffs for a 10th straight season. General Manager Steve Yzerman under no timeline to force a deal, but high-stakes negotiations are expected to peak ahead of the NHL draft June 26th.
We have not been hockey town in a long time.
Oh, no, it's been. Yeah, I know it. And listen, Dylan, played in the Olympics, man, and got that good feeling, and I know they were all-stars that were playing, but, he got that good feeling of winning, and he comes back here and.
Well, I got nothing to offer you. I've seen 3 hockey games in my entire life. I've heard of him. That's about as much as I know.
Also today, the biggest tournament in sports officially underway today. The 2026 FIFA World Cup kicked off with a record-breaking 48 teams competing across Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. Co-host Mexico faced South Africa in Mexico City to launch the historic 104-match tournament, which will wrap up with the final in New Jersey on July 19th. Soccer fans in Detroit can watch the action at local hotspots, including a massive kickoff party at the Brakeman downtown, patio viewing at Sean O'Callahan's in Plymouth, and match events at Chiang Mai and Farmington Hills. So a lot of places to watch. And FIFA, a big deal until the 19th. They'll be on TV. Fox is going to be carrying all the games.
I've also only seen 3 soccer games in my entire life.
You just.
So I got.
You are behind.
I got my lanes, and soccer and hockey are not in them.
Tell us what's coming up at 619.
One of the most influential people in Lansing that no one's ever heard of, Tim Golding, who is the state director for Americans for Prosperity, which is a very significant free market advocacy group that advocates for less spending, lower regulations, lower taxes to try to grow our population by growing our economy, creating more opportunities for people that are coming out of college, and rather than fleeing to one of these border states that are flat and boring like Indiana or Ohio, stay here in Michigan, surrounded by these Great Lakes. So I'm looking forward to hear what Tim's working on.
All right. And here's your chance right now before we go to break to win a trip to see Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind and Fire in the city of your choice. We've got your flights, your hotel, concert tickets, and premium VIP lounge access covered. It's your chance to sing along all night long with Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind and Fire. The prize is provided by Live Nation. Text this hour's national keyword TIME, that's TIME, to 95819. That's TIME, TIME, to 95819. We'll text you back to confirm your entry. Data and messaging rates may apply. Please don't text and drive. Play 4 times each weekday for 4 chances to win. Official rules and more at WJR.com.
There's nothing quite like summertime in Michigan. There's also nothing worse than the summer heat creeping into your home. Stay cool and comfortable this summer with the help of my friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. There's no one I trust more because I know the family. I know the company. I know none of their people work on commission. If it's time to replace your AC unit, Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical can help you take advantage of energy rebates for qualifying systems. If you're not quite ready for a replacement, their non-commissioned, trusted services technicians can tune up your existing air conditioning system. Visit familyheating.com to call one of their 3 locations and to schedule a free, no-pressure estimate today. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they've been serving Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit familyheating.com. familyheating.com. Schedule your free estimate today.
Listen for the SAE Ion Engineering every Monday morning on JR Morning. Ion Engineering is sponsored by CSP, the Composite Solutions Partner, an industry leader in lightweighting and advanced composites. Learn more at thecsp.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, this is Paul W. Smith. I've talked to you about Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute for years about how his non-invasive, non-surgical intradisc neutrosis treatment stimulates the body's natural healing process and has helped thousands of people reduce and end their chronic back and neck pain without drugs, shots, or downtime. This new Google review says it better than anyone. Quote, "It's a year now. My spinal stenosis, herniated disc, and sciatica pain have been relieved. I'm not taking any drugs anymore and no surgery. What a huge difference. I'm 99% pain-free." End of quote. Wow. Plus, Dr. Kogan's gentle, non-surgical knee restore RX treatment helps get rid of severe knee pain from osteoarthritis and meniscus tears. Mention WJR in June and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 on your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC.
Collins and Blaha, attorneys at law, specializing in representation of school districts. The talented attorneys at Collins and Blaha have successfully represented educational institutions for decades. With their focus, they're versed in the day-to-day operations of a school system, allowing them to deliver the best representation. They specialize in many areas such as litigation, labor, employment, tenure, student rights, bonds, special education, school construction, and much more. Collins and Blaha, your education law experts. Details at collinsandblaha.com.
The Dan Bongino Show.
Do not apologize. You are a free American citizen.
Hard truths and a bold perspective no one else can offer.
It's not that I don't do things wrong. It's that the apologies are relevant about these particular matters. You go out and kick grandma on the street, you damn well better apologize. Don't ever kick grandma, by the way. But you take a stance in your life, there's always a counterparty. That's why it's a stance. Someone else is going to hate it. You can't try to make everybody happy. Real men walk alone, brother.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oof, shocking time to lose a whole strut.
Ugh, comedy is not your thing, but I do know that Rock Auto has what I need to fix it.
With parts shipped right to your door. No kidding.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
No accidents on the roadways right now. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair Street. Left lane is closed there till this afternoon. Right lane is closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner till 3 o'clock tomorrow. Same story with the right lane on northbound 4th Street between Rosa Parks and 6th Street. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Skyworks Equipment Rental. Big summer projects start with the right equipment. Whether you're a homeowner tackling a weekend job or a contractor managing a major project, Skyworks Equipment Rental has the lifts, loaders, and excavators and tools that you need. Rent today or reserve ahead of time at skyworks-reliablerentals.com. Here's your forecast.
Heat advisory noon to 8 p.m. today. Scattered showers and storms for us here this morning, becoming sunny this afternoon, all the way up into the low 90s with a heat index approaching triple digits. Scattered showers and storms overnight tonight. Temperatures into the upper 60s. Morning clouds, afternoon sun. Mid-80s Friday. I'm Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Join us in Focus Thursday, noon till 2. We'll welcome Rachel Stewart with Mark Hackle. What do they have up their sleeves? Something about life jackets? And then our gas buddy, Patrick DeHaan, and so much more. Noon to 2, Thursday, Focus with Paul W. Smith, WJR.
Welcome back to JR Morning on a Thursday. Jason?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm honored to welcome onto the show Tim Golding, the most important man in Lansing that no one's ever heard of. Tim, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jason. Thanks for the compliment. And I think you're the most important person in Lansing.
All right, let's keep it going. Tell everyone a little bit about Americans for Prosperity and kind of the advocacy for free markets that you're involved in.
Yeah, we are the largest nonprofit, nonpartisan grassroots organization in the country on the center-right side of things. We work in 39 states. We have offices in 39 states, but we work in all 50. And we are grassroots advocacy. We work to give people a voice, help them amplify their message, make a difference with their lawmakers, make a difference in their communities. We give them the tools and the trainings to amplify their voices and help them be effective change agents for the things they want to see in their state, their community, and their nation. And we do it 365, 24 hours a day, all the year, all week. We do it all day. We never stop.
And you know, Tim, everywhere you go, people are talking about the cost of living. That's what you hear from people. What are you hearing directly from Michigan families right now?
Just exactly that. And we talk to thousands of people every week, and the cost of living is hurting people. And we need people like Speaker Matt Hall and the House Republicans that we have a great relationship with that are doing great work to try to get policies passed. Obviously, they're getting hung up in the Senate, but to bring down the cost of living, and whether that's gasoline or how to heat and cool your home, all those things are really affecting people's pocketbooks and savings accounts. We want to work and bring policies to bear, and we work with lawmakers at the state and federal level every day to reduce the size and the scope of government and its intrusion into people's personal lives and in their businesses. And we fight with that every day for that. And some of the stuff that Speaker Hall has done this year is tremendous. They just passed a bunch of energy bills. They're going to bring energy costs down for homeowners, ratepayers. We're working on some housing reforms and zoning reforms. They're going to bring down the cost of housing so that especially young families can afford to stay in Michigan, live in this great state, raise families, start businesses. But it's just too expensive right now for people to do that. We hear that every single day.
Well, Tim, you referenced Speaker Matt Hall there a couple times, and you know it's pretty remarkable that with a Democratic governor and a Democratic Senate, that Speaker Hall, as the Republican controlling the House chamber, has been able to actually drive the agenda in Lansing. And I think what's most remarkable is that he was single-handedly responsible for actually cutting the growth of government in Michigan last year with a budget in which he trimmed $1 billion from what the governor was looking for. I've never seen in non-crisis times that kind of reduction in spending. But what are some of the issues that you're working on in Lansing right now, and what's going to be the impact on our state's economy?
Well, yeah, you're right. Nobody's working harder than Matt Hall and the rest of the House Republicans to get this stuff done for Michigan families. Some of the bigger things that we're working on with them are what's called one of them is the REINS Act, and it's regulations by the executive in need of scrutiny. And basically what that does is brings the power back from the bureaucracy, the unelected bureaucrats, and gives it back to the lawmakers so that the bureaucracy can't impose fees and fines and regulations when they're implementing laws that harm the economy. Those bills just passed out of the House, and that'll be a tremendous savings for Michigan families and businesses. They just passed a bunch of energy reform bills and property tax bills that we were helping on those as well, like getting rid of the personal property tax, which will save small businesses and manufacturers millions of dollars that they can reinvest in their companies. They can increase wages, they can hire new people, they can buy new equipment. They're not paying taxes on the equipment that they buy. That's what that personal property tax is. And a big savings for ratepayers when it comes to energy will be when the energy companies are not paying those taxes on their infrastructure improvement, on their equipment. It's mandated in those laws that savings get passed directly back to the ratepayers. That's huge for Michigan families. These recent package of bills that they're pushing are going to save ratepayers and Michigan families millions of dollars, billions of dollars actually. And some of the property tax things and like the pop-up tax and real estate transfer tax, getting rid of those things. They're working every day to save Michigan families money. It's our money. It's not the government's money. We need to find ways to cut spending. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem in the state. And Matt Hall works every single day to try to reduce that. And I couldn't be more grateful for the effort he has put out there. And also on the Senate side, I'd like to say Senator Lindsay just put forth a bill, and hopefully this will get some traction, where ratepayers, families don't have to pay taxes on their energy bills. That will save thousands. So there's a lot of good stuff coming out of Lansing. You don't hear about it all the time because of the Democrat-controlled media typically, but there's a lot of good things happening that are going to benefit Michigan families. And we talk to families every day, and they love this stuff that's going on.
Tim, Americans for Prosperity Michigan opening that new field office in Macomb County, and Congresswoman Lisa McClain is going to be participating. What message do you think her involvement sends?
That AFP is a market maker and not a market taker, that we are helping shift paradigms and bring good results and good policies for Michigan families. And she's a part of it. We have a great relationship with Chairwoman McClain, and couldn't be happier that she's coming to visit the office, help kick off our grand opening. That's at 5 o'clock today at 20375 Hall Road. If you want more information, you can go to afpmichigan.com. But we couldn't be happier that she's going to help kick that off. And she knows the work we do. She knows at the state and the federal level that we're working every day for Michigan families, and she wants to be a part of it. We couldn't be happier.
And Tim, you mentioned, that you're a grassroots organization, and for people that don't know AFP, it's got to be one of the largest, most influential grassroots organizations in the country, and here in Michigan for certain. I think you guys have an incredible impact on what's happening in the state legislature and also at the federal level. For people that want to get involved with AFP, how do they do that, and what kind of things can they do by engaging with AFP?
Tim, we got about 30 seconds.
Yeah, afpmichigan.com. We can teach you how to be a community organizer, canvass neighborhoods, testify before committees, be a social media influencer. Any way that we can teach you 1,000 different ways to get involved in politics to make and policy to make a difference in your community, in your state, in your country. We do it every day, all across the whole country. And in Michigan, we have a lot going on, and we'd love to have you guys, whoever's listening, be a part of it.
Tim Golding, State Director, Americans for Prosperity Michigan. Appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tim.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Big insurance, big pharma, big utilities. As Attorney General, Mike Cox beat them all, saving Michigan seniors and taxpayers billions. As governor, Mike Cox will take the fight to radical big government liberals by eliminating the income tax, doging state government, rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting prices down. He beat them before. He'll do it again. Marine, homicide prosecutor, attorney general. Mike Cox for governor. Paid for by Mike Cox 2026.
Like us on Facebook at WJR Radio.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
Fox News, I'm CJ. Papa. Fresh round of U.S. military strikes inside Iran.
Speaking from the Situation Room, President Trump told Fox News that 49 Tomahawk missiles hit locations as close to 40 miles from the capital of Tehran. Positions were also targeted along the southwestern part of Iran. The president described the strikes as violent and vicious.
That's Fox's Trey Inks in Tel Aviv. Iran's foreign ministry saying the latest round of strikes had effectively rendered the April 8th ceasefire meaningless. President Trump saying he spoke directly to Iranian officials, which Iran has now denied. History at Madison Square Garden.
The Knicks pull off the miracle comeback and lead it 3-1.
Knicks star OG Anunoby tips in the go-ahead bucket on ABC as New York overcomes a 29-point deficit, the largest in NBA Finals history. They lead 3-1. They can win the championship Saturday night in San Antonio. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oh, that grinding and squealing. What are you going to do about that?
Time for new brakes. The chain store never has what I need.
No worries. Go to rockauto.com for name brands at lower prices.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Currently crash-free this Thursday morning. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair Street. Left lane is closed till this afternoon. Right lane is closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner. That's in place until 3 o'clock tomorrow. Right lane also closed on northbound 4th Street between Rosa Parks and 6th Street till Saturday. Now, WJR Weather First, Friendly Weather Channel, sponsored by Paramount Roofing. Need a new roof without the stress? Paramount Roofing makes it easy. Get an instant free roof quote right now at weareroofing.com. Built to last and back for life with no money down and 5 years, 0% interest. Residential or commercial, experience roofing the easy way. Paramount Roofing, a 5-star roofing experience made easy. Heat advisory is in effect beginning at noon today till 8 o'clock tonight. Heat index value is expected to once again hit near 100 degrees. Partly cloudy today with a high of 92. Right now, it's 74. Late night thunderstorms possible tonight. Low is 69, then mostly sunny, cooler tomorrow. High of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Hi, it's Ryan Armani here. There's an amazing pain elimination treatment I use whenever I need it. It is safe, FDA-cleared, high-dose laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute in Farmington and Clinton Township. No drugs to get addicted to, no pain injections, no side effects, and no surgery. If you have arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or any other chronic pain, grab your phone, dial pound 250, and use the keyword laser to be connected to the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. WJR listeners get their first visit free, including a consultation and first treatment. The lasers at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute are the highest dose in Michigan. The staff's great, too. They help get rid of pain by treating the root cause, reducing inflammation, and regenerating tissue. I swear by it. So will you. Dial pound 250, keyword laser, and mention me for your first visit free. That's pound 250 with the keyword laser. Lose your pain and get your life back. Call now.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out not for everyone, because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
For the latest on news, sports, and entertainment, take Mitch Albom on your drive home, 4 to 6 p.m. Stream 760 WJR live on the WJR app or at WJR.com. Paul W. Smith can be found on Focus from noon to 2 p.m. on 760 WJR. Now back to JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds. Once again, here's special guest host, political strategist Jason Rowe.
Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning, Jason Rowe. And next up, a lawsuit has now been filed following the January police shooting death of 34-year-old John Genuine in Washtenaw County. The suit alleges deputies fired 27 shots after a chase in Ypsilanti Township, even though Genuine was unarmed, and claims medical aid was not immediately provided afterward. As the Michigan Attorney General's office reviews the case, we're joined now by Attorney Todd Flood to discuss the legal questions, accountability concerns, and the broader conversation surrounding police use of force. Counselor, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
For people just hearing about the case, Todd, kind of walk us through what the lawsuit is alleging that happened during and after the shooting.
So prior to the shooting, there was a 911 call for a dispatch of two black males in a white van, that pointed a gun or had a gun, handgun at that. And so my client, Mr. Genuine, was in a white van. He's a white male, and he's in a Sprinter van. They start to pursue him thinking he's the two suspects, but obviously they see he is not. Ultimately, they do what is called a pit move. A pit move or maneuver is just basically, they attempted it twice. They hit him once and then do it again and then knock him over, which is against policy within the sheriff's department. But anyway, they knock him over. Once they knock him over on that passenger side, someone screams shotgun, or he has a shotgun. Obviously, he didn't have a shotgun. There was no gun. And Lloyd, when I tell you this, if you watch the video, it looks like the OK Corral. 27 shots. You have deputies firing from the front of the van, from the rear of the van, from the underneath of the van, from the top of the van. They hit my client, and my client's parents are on as well this morning. They hit John 7 times, and I had an independent autopsy done up in Oakland County, and this was a slow, painful, bleed out death. There was no kill shot. They didn't hit him in the head. They didn't hit him in the heart. It's just tragic and ugly. And then from there, they don't render aid. They let him bleed out, and kill him and find out he's not the suspect. He wasn't the suspect. So there's multiple counts we have within our lawsuit, but this is just a deliberate indifference, a lack of training, a lack of education. I don't know if it's societal and where police officers stand. I mean, I'm a law enforcement kind of guy, but I know so many police officers have reached out to me after watching this and saying that, this is wrong.
Yeah.
So this lawsuit is, as my clients will tell you, is to get accountability, and more than anything, and these are the most lovely people in the world. You get to talk with them. They don't want this to happen anywhere else in America. They don't want it to happen. This is that message out there. There's no justice here. I mean, I can't turn back the hands of time.
No.
But hopefully there's some mercy.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Genuine, my condolences for the tragedy that you're suffering. I can't imagine how you have had to navigate this situation and this unnecessary loss of life. And I mean, just hearing the description of it, what I've read in the papers about it, I mean, 27 shots coming from all angles. There wasn't a gun, and he wasn't even the person that was a suspect. I don't know how you are dealing with this right now, but thank you for sharing your story with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
No one should ever have to deal with this. It was a tragedy. It was not necessary. And our goal through this whole thing is only to prevent any family from ever having to go through this again.
Kelly, tell us about your son. Tell us something we don't know.
Oh my God. John was loyal to a fault. He loved working on cars with his father since he was, I don't know, I'd say 4 or 5 years old. They're always working on something. He was a decorated Navy veteran. He was very proud of that service. John also loved to cook. He got that from me. And he was, Larry and I are in the process right now of going through his house. And I think I lost count of how many Instant Pots he has. He loved to cook. He loved to putter in the garage with his father. He had a wicked sense of humor. He had many, many, many friends. He was loyal to a fault. He was a good-hearted man. He loved his dogs, Bonnie and Clyde. He'd come over our house and lay on that couch with them for hours. He was just an all-around good guy. He would do anything for his friends or his family, and he loved his little brother Jake, and his wife Melissa. He was definitely a family man.
So, Todd, what's next? What kind of a time frame will the family have to go through to get justice on this?
It's going to take some time. So we don't, we had to file because it's being criminally investigated right now by the Attorney General's office. There's a lot of things that we can't get through FOIA. So we filed our lawsuit. We know a couple of the deputies, but there's several involved. So we filed what is called the John Doe and Jane Doe lawsuit. So the next step is that we will serve it upon the sheriff's department, and it'll get into the court system, and we will ultimately amend the complaint, and the judge will give us a scheduling order for us to go through our case. And the unfortunate thing here, if I could change any law, I know we're on the rundown here, but if I could change any law, I would change the governmental immunity law, because there's this higher burden and higher standard, and they get an automatic right to an appeal. So here in my particular situation, it's going to take time, but we have the wherewithal and the perseverance and the support from the family and loved ones to go through the fight, and we will fight for justice until the end. In the civil case. The criminal case, it's under investigation.
Larry and Kelly Genuine, we appreciate you coming on this morning, and our deepest condolences to you and the rest of the family there. And we appreciate you coming on. Todd Flood, my friend, thank you for sharing this with us and giving us an update, and we'll keep following this with you along the way. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, guys. Be well.
Thank you.
Coming up at 6:49, a candidate for Senate that we have not spoken to as of yet, but we will. His name is Robert Lugerai. He's going to join us next to tell us about his campaign and what he thinks needs to be done to change some things around here in Michigan. That's all up next at 6:49 here on JR.
Hi, this is Paul W. Smith. I've talked to you about Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute for years about how his non-invasive, non-surgical intradisc neutrosis treatment stimulates the body's natural healing process and has helped thousands of people reduce and end their chronic back and neck pain without drugs, shots, or downtime. This new Google review says it better than anyone. Quote, "It's a year now. My spinal stenosis, herniated disc, and sciatica pain have been relieved. I'm not taking any drugs anymore and no surgery. What a huge difference. I'm 99% pain-free." End of quote. Wow. Plus, Dr. Kogan's gentle, non-surgical knee restore RX treatment helps get rid of severe knee pain from osteoarthritis and meniscus tears. Mention WJR in June and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 on your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Join Ann Thomas as she talks to the movers and shakers making the biggest difference in the D. It's Opportunity Detroit, presented by Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. on 760 WJR.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing? I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online. I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy? Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door. How do I get started with Zelfie? Just send them a text.
Text NICE to 797-979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text NICE to 797-979 for a link to your exclusive offer. Text NICE to 797-979. That's NICE to 797-979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Like many of you, I got LASIK surgery back in the 80s, and recently I started having trouble seeing, and it turns out they never told us LASIK doesn't last forever. So now what? Glasses? I haven't worn glasses in years, and I'm as vain as the next person. But then I remembered Mariana and the staff at Direct Optical Optique and how great they were at finding cool frames that look good on me, because they are frame stylists. You can't get that on the web or a big box store, and nobody has a bigger selection of designer frames than Direct Optical Optique. And Mariana still knows everybody by name. She's still selling cool glasses, one pair at a time with a very personal touch. So if you wear glasses now or are wearing them again, you got to go to Direct Optical Optique and let them treat you like a star. They're the only ones who can do that. 2 great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple and West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to IKEA, OptiqueDetroit.com on the web.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com.
Oh, that grinding and squealing. What are you going to do about that?
Time for new brakes. The chain store never has what I need.
No worries. Go to RockAuto.com for name brands at lower prices.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair Street. Left lane closed for construction till this afternoon. Right lane is closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner. That's in place till 3 o'clock tomorrow. Right lane also closed on northbound 4th Street between Rosa Parks and 6th Street till Saturday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Hot and humid for us here today with a heat advisory noon to 8 p.m. Scattered showers and storms this morning. Sunshine this afternoon. Low 90s. Heat index approaching triple digits. More showers and storms overnight tonight. Upper 60s. Morning clouds. Afternoon sun. Low to mid 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law, Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Good morning. Welcome back to WJR. This is Jason Rowe. I'm here guest hosting with my friend Lloyd Jackson.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm really excited to introduce a guy that I got to know a little over a year ago who is running for Congress in the Macomb County seat, where currently occupied by John James.
That's the 10th district,
The
right?
10th district,
Mhm.
yep. It's an open seat. One of the purplest seats in America. This is the home of the Reagan Democrat.
Yeah.
Remember when Stan Greenberg, the
Oh,
Democratic
yeah.
pollster, many, many years ago, identified Macomb County as having this very unique DNA politically. And Robert Lugerai, welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
So, Robert, first thing I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit about is your family. You are the American immigrant story. Talk a little bit about your parents and how they came to America and what that's meant to you and how that shapes your candidacy.
Yeah, sure. I have a story, Jason, that's only possible in the greatest country on the face of the earth, which is America. And my grandparents escaped communism and came to the United States. And my mom's a waitress, and my dad worked as a cook and a maintenance man. And my dad stood behind a grill, so one day I could get on the radio and speak with you about my candidacy for Congress. And that's the American dream, Jason. It's not just my story. I'm sure it's your story and many of your listeners as well. And I'm just very grateful to grow up in the United States and now have a really strong desire for public service and patriotism and giving back.
Robert, I know families in Michigan's 10th congressional district, along with families across Michigan, they continue to struggle with affordability and cost of living concerns. What specific policies are you proposing to help working families?
Sure. Well, I think we need leaders that are going to put America first. And I think government can help or either get in the way. And we need people, I think, that are going to fight for Macomb County very hard. And that's going to be me. And we need a competitive tax code. We need lower tax rates. Things in the big, beautiful bill, I thought, gave a lot of relief when I speak to voters in my district. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, car loan interest being deferred. I think we need more housing, allowing developers and builders and working with them so we can bring down the cost of housing, having energy independence. Really, really important. And I'd like to introduce a bill that says for every new regulation we have, we eliminate two. And so I think these are really good practical economic principles we can implement to give the American people relief.
Robert, there's two other people running in the Republican primary. You've raised more money than the other candidates in the race, and here we are just 53 days before the primary election, and it's 3 weeks until absentee ballots go out. So voters are going to start voting, and you're, I'm sure, starting to send out mail and run digital ads and things like that. What's the biggest difference between you and your opponents in this race for the Republican nomination?
Yeah, sure, Jason. I think we have to ask ourselves, who do you want as your next member of Congress, just across the entire state? Do you want, we see so many people in both parties, scandals, people that commit sexual assaults. We have politicians that enrich themselves with insider trading. It's really disgusting. And I think, faith, character, honesty, and integrity matter. And, we want to implement good policy in the White House and the halls of Congress, but I think your own house matters most. And so that's how I was raised, with faith and family and hard work and virtue. And that's really the main principle that I want to take to Congress. And I think that's what separates me from my opponents. My opponents have never lived paycheck to paycheck. They've never struggled financially. I was a prosecutor in Detroit my entire professional career. And so I know what it means to try to stand up for people. And I know what it means to live paycheck to paycheck, and I know what it means to value everything that you have. And that's the type of representative that I'm going to be in Congress. And most of my opponents were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Their fathers are running their campaigns. Their fathers, rich donors, are giving them money. and I'm running on my own merit, and I'm really running for the people.
And, Robert, in today's political climate, as well as everyone, that many voters say that they're just tired of career politicians. You see yourself as an outsider candidate?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's an outsider campaign. I think if you see the halls of Congress,
Did we? I think we got phone issues. I think we lost him. We'll try to get him back real quick here if we can. But I know that people have said, and and the folks I've talked to, they were like, we just kind of want to shake it up a little bit because we get these career politicians and they tell us the same thing every time, and we don't. Okay, and I want to ask you that question again about career politicians. Once again, a lot of voters say they're tired of them, but do you see yourself as an outside candidate?
yes, sorry for losing you for
That's
a minute
okay.
there, but yeah, we definitely are an outsider, and you're right. People are tired of. First, I know it or really upset people in both the Democrat and Republican Party, but I think term limits would be really important. And, people, I think, the halls of Congress look more like a senior care facility than they do a representative of the people. And I think there's a strong desire for young, strong leadership that just wants to give back. And so, yeah, we definitely are an outsider. And I think there's a hunger and thirst to elect new people with new ideas. And, don't just vote for a name that you consistently see on the ballot. I think it's important to do your research and vote for someone that's going to give you good service.
Well, and I think you're definitely seeing a rejection of the insiders in elections that have happened just in the last few weeks and months. There's 9 members of Congress that have sought higher office who have lost already in this year, and I expect there to be some more. And look at what's happening in Maine. You've got a very flawed candidate in Graham Plattner, who the Democrats are embracing and is doing well in polling just because people are so fed up with Washington and how we're being governed.
Agreed.
And what are you going to do different than what you've observed now? I mean, you're new to this. You are an outsider. You've been politically active, but this is your first time as a candidate. How do you see yourself as being different when you get there?
Yeah, sure. I do. I think you mentioned the gentleman in Maine. A lot of people in office, Jason, I think they lie about their resume. They lie about their background. I think that particular individual, lied about their blue collar background, and it does. I think it really starts with people that, what are their principles, right? And I think if you get people in office that articulate the value system of loving your neighbor, caring for the sick, trying to help the less fortunate, we would live in such a more value-driven country. And so, I'd like to see something like a balanced budget amendment introduced. I'd like to see a ban on insider trading. I think I would vote tomorrow for something that has some term limits in it. Putting good economic policy in place that we had just talked about earlier in the phone call. I think if you just do those easy, basic buildings, people that care about law and order, so families can live in safe communities. And I think if you stand up for those basic principles that this country was founded on, then people will thrive.
Robert Lugerai, candidate for Congress. We appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day.
Top of the hour next, 7:05.
Hi, it's Ryan Armani here. There's an amazing pain elimination treatment I use whenever I need it. It is safe, FDA-cleared, high-dose laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute in Farmington and Clinton Township. No drugs to get addicted to, no pain injections, no side effects, and no surgery. If you have arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or any other chronic pain, grab your phone, dial pound 250, and use the keyword laser to be connected to the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. WJR listeners get their first visit free, including a consultation and first treatment. The lasers at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute are the highest dose in Michigan. The staff's great, too. They help get rid of pain by treating the root cause, reducing inflammation, and regenerating tissue. I swear by it. So will you. Dial pound 250, keyword laser, and mention me for your first visit free. That's pound 250 with the keyword laser. Lose your pain and get your life back. Call now.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
We hit them very hard. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump told Fox during a second night of attacks in Iran, calling it violent and vicious as he insists Iran keeps tapping us along on a potential deal.
CENTCOM says Iranian military surveillance capabilities, along with air defense systems and communication sites, were hit.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
Now, in response, the Iranians launched ballistic missiles and drones at Gulf countries, including Bahrain and Kuwait. The Jordanian army says they dealt with at least 20 Iranian ballistic missiles in the skies of their country. Today, the Iranian Foreign Ministry says the strikes overnight rendered the ceasefire practically meaningless.
As Iran keeps insisting it's blocking shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump says the U.S. in a secret mission got more than 200 ships through, carrying 100 million barrels of oil. Oil prices have been down slightly this morning, but the spike up for oil and gas in this conflict drove inflation in May to the biggest rise in 3 years.
But President Trump says he's not concerned.
You know what I really love? I love the inflation. You know why?
The president says that's because he predicts prices will plummet once military action is over in Iran.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern of the White House. Carmelo Anthony's lawyers have filed an appeal to Tuesday's murder conviction in Texas and a 35-year prison sentence for stabbing a 17-year-old in a confrontation last year. And related to that, Fox's Chris Foster reports a right-wing influencer has been arrested.
Jake Lang's charged with making terroristic threats. He led protests outside the courthouse in Frisco, Texas, saying Carmelo Anthony should be hanging from a tree, allegedly threatening to kill Anthony himself if he wasn't convicted of murdering Austin Metcalf at a track meet last year. Anthony was convicted. He's black. Metcalf was white. So is Jake Lang.
A comeback like no other in NBA Finals history.
Brunson gets it, fires up a three. Shot no good. The tip, it's gone. It's gone.
OG Anunoby's game winner for the Knicks came with a second left to complete a 29-point second-half comeback, beating the Spurs 107-106 on ABC. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm.
From restaurants and schools to warehouses and job sites, Guardian Alarm protects businesses and more across Metro Detroit day and night. Get smarter protection from the local team you can trust. Call Guardian Alarm at 1-800-STAY-OUT today.
Southbound 275 at M14, we have a crash off to the right shoulder. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair Street. Left lane is closed there till this afternoon. Right lane closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner till 3 o'clock on Friday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Heat advisory in effect beginning at noon today until 8 o'clock tonight. Heat index value is expected to once again hit near 100 degrees. Partly cloudy today, a high of 92. Right now it's 74. Late night thunderstorms possible tonight, low at 69. Mostly sunny, cooler tomorrow, high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No thank
For
you.
more than 35 years, MetroCars has set the standard for professional transportation across Michigan and beyond. MetroCars is proud to serve as the official transportation provider of 760 WJR. Executives and business travelers trust MetroCars for dependable airport transportation and seamless corporate travel. From early morning departures to late night arrivals, their professional chauffeurs ensure every ride is punctual, comfortable, and stress-free. Choose MetroCars. MetroCars.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text NICE to 797-979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text NICE to 797-979 for a link to your exclusive offer. Text NICE to 797-979. That's NICE to 797-979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
It's not just morning, it's a JR morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and on the WJR app, where Michigan comes to talk. Now, here's special guest host, political strategist Jason Rowe.
Good morning, Lloyd. Welcome back to WJR on a beautiful Thursday morning.
Yes, it is a beautiful Thursday. Chris is off today, and Jason Rowe is with me this morning. A lot to talk about. Some storms came through yesterday. We had a situation out at Belle Isle in the Detroit River where we had several boats that capsized. The Detroit Fire Department and U.S. Coast Guard responded to the scene just after 7:30 last night. Some storms were rolling through, and officials say the high winds and fast-moving weather flipped several vessels, sending 12 people plunging into the water. In total, 20 people were stranded on 7 different sailboats. And according to authorities, all 12 people were successfully pulled from the river. Another 6 boaters, they managed to get back to the shore unassisted. No serious injuries reported, but that storm kind of it hit. It was quick, and it came through pretty quick. I mean, held up the Tiger game for a little while as well.
Yeah, but the forecast, the Knicks game last night was being interrupted by weather warnings, but I kept looking outside and it looked perfectly nice. And then about 9:30 or so, it just got loud.
And it moved fairly quickly.
But 20 people getting pulled out of the river. That's a big number.
It is a big number, and luckily no one perished, and we got everybody out and everybody's safe, and that's the big thing. Hey, that ribbon cutting ceremony for the new Gordie Howe International Bridge between Detroit and Windsor, may be delayed. That's according to several sources familiar with the event. The ceremony was expected to take place tomorrow, June 12th, but sources say it has likely been postponed, though no new date has been confirmed. Officials describe the delay as a minor scheduling issue rather than a setback to the project itself. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said the opening timeline may shift slightly, but emphasized there is no big drama, noting the bridge will benefit both countries for decades. The long-awaited span connecting Detroit and Windsor is still expected to open soon, though final timing remains unclear as officials coordinate last steps before the formal opening.
I don't know if I'm buying that.
You're not feeling that one?
There's been a lot of drama. I don't know how this is just a little scheduling snafu.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this. We're waiting for a date. We finally get a date. Now, all of a sudden, we had a scheduling conflict.
There's been the controversy with the Maroon family and the Ambassador Bridge. And I think some of their concerns are very valid that, they've got to compete with a government subsidized bridge that's going to have a fare that sounds like it's going to be lower than the other, and for tourism, or people that work across borders or transporting goods, that could be a significant savings.
A federal grand jury has indicted 8 people in connection with what prosecutors describe as a coordinated campaign of threats, intimidation, and vandalism targeting Jewish institutions, the University of Michigan, and law enforcement officials. The U.S. Department of Justice says the alleged activity included online and in-person threats, property damage, and intimidation tied to perceived financial support of Israel following the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack. Prosecutors also alleged discussions of extreme methods of harm and efforts to intimidate witnesses. The defendants include 8 individuals from Michigan and other states, most in their 20s, with 4 from Ann Arbor. FBI raids were carried out in Ypsilanti earlier this week. U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon called the conduct anti-American, saying intimidation will be met with justice, and the case remains under federal review.
Really amazing in this day and time that we see this kind of overt anti-Semitism.
I know.
The lessons that we should have learned decades ago seem to have been forgotten.
Michigan State University trustee Rima Vassar threatening to sue the university, alleging years of discrimination and civil rights violations by the board and administration in pre-litigation demand letter obtained through a public records request. Vassar's attorney claims the university and fellow trustees violated her First Amendment and due process rights and failed to follow board policy and actions taken against her. The letter, sent May 17th, gives MSU until June 17th to respond or face a federal lawsuit that could seek undisclosed damages, reimbursement of legal fees potentially exceeding $25 million, and restoration of trustee benefits she lost after refusing to sign a revised code of conduct. Vassar, a former board chair, has been a controversial figure on the MSU Board of Trustees, previously facing investigations and internal disputes over ethics and governance. MSU has not publicly responded to the latest demand, and the university is also navigating leadership changes as it searches for a new president.
Yeah, MSU should be suing her. She has been an arsonist at Michigan State. She chased away a phenomenal president, Kevin Guskowitz, and we're now on our 6th president in 6 years at Michigan State. It's embarrassing, and she's a big reason why.
A former Detroit police officer has been sentenced to 2 years probation with at least 6 months to be served in the Wayne County Jail after pleading no contest to charges he stole and shared explicit material from a woman's phone following her arrest. Prosecutors say Deron Crawford accessed Samantha Thomason's phone in March of this year and sent himself nude images and videos without her consent. In court, Thomason told the judge she now lives in fear, saying everyday activities have become frightening since the incident, and called the sentence too lenient. Crawford's attorney argued it was a momentary lapse in judgment in the otherwise strong career, and said he later went to apologize, claims that Thomason disputes. Thomason is also now filing a $15 million civil lawsuit against Crawford, another officer in the city of Detroit.
A lot of weirdos out there.
I mean, you're an officer that is supposed to uphold the law. You arrest somebody, you get her phone, and you just decide to go through the phone and take things that you're not supposed to take, and nobody's going to find out about it. Digital fingerprints all over the place. And so that I remember when that story first broke, and I talked about it, and I said, this is not going to end well, and it didn't.
No.
Coming up, we will get on the couch with Dr. Steve and hear from a patient that has some issues with a 17-year-old. And we'll talk about that coming up next. But first, it's time for WJR's Business Beat, brought to you by Shelving.com. We rack your world. Here is Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community on WJR.
Good morning. Social commerce, not just social media to drive the power of influencing, social commerce, which combines the power of social media's influencing with the ability to close the purchase of a product at the moment you've been influenced to do so. It's hot, and it's getting hotter. Now, the most well-known example of social commerce is that conducted by the TikTok shop, but it's not the only example of social commerce doing well. While Facebook doesn't get the social commerce hype TikTok and Instagram do, the fact is it owns what brands actually want: scale plus buying intent. Per Sprout's 2026 data, 85% of consumers have a Facebook profile, and 40% go there specifically to find products. And 70% of marketing leaders say it drives the strongest business impact of any platform. Now, unlike TikTok and Facebook's social commerce application, your shop acts like a discovery engine that drives shoppers to your own website to close the sales. Facebook Shops in 2026 is a discovery and trust machine, not a checkout button. Win the browse and believe stage with video, collections, fast service, and real user-generated content, then send that intent to a site built to close. To win at social commerce, Sprout offers these tips to keep in mind. Lead with short-term video. Facebook users engage most with sub-60-second branded video. Tag the exact product in reels and stories so viewers go straight from clip to cart. Track revenue, not just vanity metrics. A reel can rack up likes and drive 0 product clicks, but sales are the ultimate metric to track. So instead of tracking vanity metrics like likes, track clicks, collection views, conversion rate, and customer questions instead. Look, if we're going to succeed in small business today, we've simply got to be everywhere that existing buyers are. And we're forced to stay current with consumer expectations with respect to where and how they can purchase what it is that your business offers. Social commerce, including that which is on Facebook, is emerging as one channel you simply can't afford to neglect. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, and that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
Your facility deserves better than a one-size-fits-all fix. Shelving.com manages your project from start to finish, from custom design to full installation, delivering a storage setup that actually works. Schedule your free consultation today.
Shelving.com, we rack your world.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate. And there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
Hi, it's Ryan Armani here. There's an amazing pain elimination treatment I use whenever I need it. It is safe, FDA-cleared, high-dose laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute in Farmington and Clinton Township. No drugs to get addicted to, no pain injections, no side effects, and no surgery. If you have arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or any other chronic pain, grab your phone, dial pound 250, and use the keyword laser to be connected to the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. WJR listeners get their first visit free, including a consultation and first treatment. The lasers at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute are the highest dose in Michigan. The staff's great too. They help get rid of pain by treating the root cause, reducing inflammation, and regenerating tissue. I swear by it. So will you. Dial pound 250 keyword laser and mention me for your first visit free. That's pound 250 with the keyword laser. Lose your pain and get your life back. Call now.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm has protected Metro Detroit homes and businesses for over 90 years. When you need security done right, trust the local team at Guardian Alarm to protect what matters most. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT today for a free security consultation.
One crash on the roadways. That's southbound 275 at M14. That accident is off to the right shoulder. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair. Left lane is closed there till this afternoon. Right lane is closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner. That's in place till 3 o'clock tomorrow. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Colony Marine. Take the party anywhere. That's the pontoon lifestyle. Crest delivers premium luxury, unbeatable comfort, and the toughness to handle it all. Michigan made and built to last. Get your new Crest pontoon at Colony Marine today in St. Clair Shores or Oakland County. Here's your forecast.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible for us here this morning, becoming sunny this afternoon, hot and humid with a heat advisory in effect. Low 90s, heat index approaching triple digits. More showers and storms overnight tonight, upper 60s. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, breezy, cooler, low to mid 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
I'm Kevin Dietz. Coming up on All Talk, should schools ever keep information from parents if they believe it's in a student's best interest? Congress is putting that question front and center as school leaders from across the country testify about gender identity policies, privacy, and parental rights. Plus, the daily dose of Dietz. All Talk is 9 to noon. You can stream us anytime at WJR.com.
Welcome back to JR Morning on a Thursday. Well, I call it Friday Eve, actually. I'd rather have it be closer to Friday than just Thursday. And who's joining us? It's Couch Time with Dr. Steve Craig Counseling Group and Craig Counseling Services. Dr. Steve, good to see you this morning.
Good to see you guys. We got a newbie here today we're going to test out. I know.
Yes.
I'm excited to be an amateur psychologist.
Oh, he's in big trouble. Okay, let's see. Dr. Steve. My 17-year-old daughter recently got a psych evaluation that was done by a psychology student we know, who's currently in grad school and learning how to give these tests. My daughter's test results showed most of the things we expected, like she was smart and a little ADD and a little anxious, but it also said she showed some signs of dissociative thinking, which we were told is associated with schizophrenia, and maybe more importantly, she showed some signs of depression. We're freaked out. This is a parent's worst nightmare. We want to talk to her about these things, but she insists she is fine, and we don't want to make it worse by continuing to push her. Should we take her to get more testing? Do we drop it because she says she's fine? Do we make her talk about it? We'd never forgive ourselves if we didn't address this. We need some help here. What do we do? Lloyd, you better take this first. He's too new for this.
The first thing I think is I would get a second opinion. Nothing against I know the student is learning and everything, but to me, I would want to get an opinion from a certified licensed psychiatrist to make sure that these things that the student found were legitimate things. I don't want to make something bigger than what it is. Now, once we do that, if it turns out to be that, and when we get the help, but in the meantime, I would just, love her and try to get her to talk about things if things are on her mind, not really press her and try to make sure she has what she needs. But I think the first thing I would do is to get that second opinion.
All right, Lloyd pays $2,000 for a full psych eval. Okay.
It's my kid,
that insurance,
man.
that insurance doesn't cover. Good. Okay.
Well, listen,
that's job security for me. Call my office. Right.
As a proper Gen Xer, rub some dirt on it. Doesn't sound to me like this was a psych evaluation because there were concerns about where she was. It was that they had a friend that needed a little practice on psych evals and got a little bit of a mixed result from someone who's not certified, as you say. And I think we are at a time in society where we are seeking out some psychological ailments that don't exist. And you see a lot of polling out there of people that identify themselves as having, and I think there's a little bit of a contagion that it's kind of trendy to have some sort of psychological thing or to be able to say that you're seeing somebody. So I'm kind of the mind that, she says she's fine. There were no signs prior to this psych evaluation that there was any trouble. So I wouldn't be thinking too much about it and move on.
So we got Lloyd's $2,000 check, and we got
and then the other one. You get nothing.
We got nothing. Right, full spectrum.
Yeah,
you did really well today for a newbie.
All right,
these are good results.
Yeah,
we have to talk about understanding people, understanding our society that you brought up, and understanding the sensitivity of these tests. Okay, but you have to start from the basic that we all have a little of something. That's health. You don't, if you think of it across a spectrum, like
we're not perfect.
Well, you're perfect.
Okay.
That's why we don't test you. Right? You'll freak out the test.
Okay.
If you think of like the spectrum of OCD, okay, on one end you got people so afraid of germs that they won't leave the house, and on the other end you got people like licking the buttons on the ATM machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But neither one of those is health. You want someone to have enough OCD that they're not out licking the ATM buttons, but not over there.
Yeah.
Everything is across a spectrum like that. You don't want to, we don't like anxiety, but you need a little anxiety till you walk into traffic. Like what do we always say? Where do you find a non-anxious deer? Over your mantle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So what these tests are going to do is they're going to point out, they're very sensitive. And so I'm making up a scale. If it's a 3 and 10-point scale, you should be a 3 in this and a 4 in that and a 5 and a 4 and a 3. So it's going to tell you that you have a little of everything because that's normal. But we read these tests and we freak out, or we go on the internet, or we're diagnosis searching.
Oh, yeah.
Because, oh my God, you showed a few signs of OCD. Well, good. A little anxiety. Good. I don't want my kid to show up with none of these things. I just had this, I read one of these in my office recently. The parents are worried that the kid had autism. Okay. But again, you could make up a scale of really tight, concrete thinking on one end that, you have no creativity, no loose associations. And on the other end is schizophrenia, where they're all over the place.
Yeah.
I want my kid to be in the middle of that range, to show a few signs of this and a few signs of that. That's what this test said, was that this kid was basically, we diagnosed her as a teenage girl. Good.
Okay.
That's what happened. And so we have to not freak out in the world of the internet and society, which is really the point that this makes, which you were dead on with, is that this is why we have so many problems. People go online and they just, oh my God, we got this and we got that. And then they talk to their friends, and then all of a sudden the kid has a label, and we're all way down this rabbit hole.
And then they got a prescription.
And now they do come to my office though, so that's okay.
Okay.
No. I make this speech all the time. You don't need to be here. Don't do this. So that's really what.
Well, and the fact that we now see that, people that go to get therapy find themselves going to therapy for years and years and years. If the therapy was working, you wouldn't need it.
Right. You're supposed to graduate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But it becomes a way of life.
Yes.
So do these parents, what do these parents do?
Well, I don't want to be so cavalier as to say you just to blow it off.
Okay.
But you always should say to your kid, hey, how are you? The test showed that. What do you think? Do you think you're depressed? And have a conversation.
Sure.
But if she's not showing any signs, she's, again, normal teen. She might be crying one day and happy the next. There's a sort of a regular teenage stuff.
Yeah.
But you need to talk about it. Hey, it showed this. What do you think? What do you think about it? You says you're a little ADD, a little anxious. What do you think about it? Let's have a conversation. But if she says she's fine and there's no signs, what are you going to do? Make a big deal out of it?
Yeah.
No. Then. Plus, with the way, Jason said people diagnose shop, she can start going, wow, I guess I really do have problems. Yeah. And then she's on social media. I'm depressed, and you just don't want to do that. So this is to me an easy one, which is just pay no attention to this. Have a conversation and move on. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm really proud of my performance this
right.
morning.
Yeah, you hit it off great.
Right. I know.
Jamie and Chris would be proud of you.
He's one for one. Right.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Steve. We appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
All right.
JR Morning continues after this.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
We're on Instagram at WJR Radio.
When people power education, we all move forward. The Skillman Foundation brings people together as a force for change, connecting students, families, and educators with policy movers to ensure real-life insights shape the future of our schools. Listen to the Skillman Foundation's show, Our State of Education, to hear what's happening in Michigan schools and what you can do to support today's children and tomorrow's leaders. Our State of Education on 760 WJR or on your favorite podcast platform. Meet Mount Pleasant and discover adventure around every corner. Tee off at one of the area's championship golf courses and end the night in downtown Mount Pleasant, filled with great dining and nightlife. Visit meetmtp.com and discover all that Central Michigan has to offer.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The United States and Iran trading a new round of attacks for a second day.
CENTCOM says Iranian military surveillance capabilities, along with air defense systems and communication sites, were hit. In response to these strikes, the Iranians launched ballistic missiles and drones toward Gulf countries, including Kuwait and Bahrain.
That's Fox's Trey Hings. President Trump locks in funding for ICE and CBP through the end of his term, arguing illegal immigration surged in the Biden administration.
I believe it was the most insecure and unsecure border anywhere in the world. And they allowed this open border policy where millions of people came into our country, unchecked, unvetted.
The president yesterday in the Oval Office, and the Knicks pulled off the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history, rallying from a 29-point deficit to beat the San Antonio Spurs 107-106. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Father's Day at Lowe's, they have extra big deals for a very limited time, so you can get Dad the gift he's been wishing for. Get a free Select Craftsman DeWalt or Cobalt battery when you buy a Select Combo Kit. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
No accidents to slow you down on the roads right now. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair. Left lane is closed there till this afternoon. Right lane is closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner till 3 o'clock tomorrow. And upcoming construction beginning tomorrow at 8 p.m. All lanes scheduled to close on eastbound 94 between Gratiot and Metro Parkway till 5 a.m. on Monday. Gratiot can be used as an alternate there. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Lombardo Apartments. Searching for a luxury 2 or 3 bedroom townhome? Kirkway Apartments in Washington Township features beautiful luxury townhomes designed for comfort, convenience, and style. Visit kirkwayapartments.com for more information on their specials, including up to 1 month free rent on a new lease. A heat advisory is in effect beginning at noon today till 8 o'clock this evening. Heat index values expected to once again hit near 100 degrees. Partly cloudy today with a high of 92. Right now it's 75. Late night thunderstorms possible tonight with a low of 69. Mostly sunny, cooler tomorrow, high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Get a taste of Greece this weekend at St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church's Opa Fest. Authentic homemade Greek cuisine and Iron Chef cook-off spirits, live music and dance, kids games, raffles, and more. Opa Fest this weekend at St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church in Troy, or visit opafest.org.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Stay on the right track to 9 Mile and Mac. Roy O'Brien Pumps and Cars, make your money back.
We have employee pricing for everyone on most vehicles at Roy O'Brien Ford. Find your red, white, blue, and all the other fabulous Ford vehicle colors in stock at 9 Mile and Mac. Celebrating 80 years and delivering to your home or office.
Roy O'Brien has the best deal around.
There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Sharing stories and lures down at the docks as you practice the perfect cast. Renting bikes for the family and pedaling along a scenic, shaded trail. Perusing a local farmer's market for the makings of a picnic. Spreading out your blankets and bites by the waterside on a sun-soaked afternoon. Find your own moments of pure greatness when you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan. Visit gogreat.com to plan your next vacation.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app.
On your ride home, check out the Mitch Albom Show at 4 p.m. Now to get your day started, here's JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds. Once again, here's special guest host, political strategist Jason Rowe.
Good to be back with you, Lloyd. Good morning, Detroit. Next up, therapy. Oh no, we moved on from therapy Thursday.
Yeah, we had it. You did very well.
I just
so
want to
you know,
remind you that I led into we're both Gen Xers, but you
Yes.
sounded like a millennial.
Did I?
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
okay.
You need to check yourself. Next up, I want to welcome Jackie Charninga. I hope I said that well. Right. Automotive reporter for the Detroit Free Press, talking about easier EV charging for our automobiles. Welcome, Jackie.
Thanks for having me.
One of the biggest complaints, Jackie, that people have about electric vehicles is, that charging anxiety. How significant is General Motors' new Energy Pass system in addressing that concern?
Well, it's not just charging anxiety, but it's figuring out how to pay once you finally find a charger. So there's so many different companies with fast and slow charging publicly, but if you're not a Tesla customer already, or if you're trying to juggle different apps in your phone, it can be a real headache. So the Energy Pass app is going to actually hopefully put everything in one place for GM customers, where they can find a station, pay, everything in one space.
Jackie, how is it that we haven't standardized charging? That, you have so many different vehicles with different kinds of charging, which makes it inconvenient. And when you've got, certainly during the Biden administration, kind of compelling people to embrace electric vehicles, that's one of the things that for the industry seems to make it a little bit more difficult to access the EV auto market, is when you don't have a standardized charging technology.
It's kind of similar as to why Apple had their own charger compared to the Android users. It's the idea that the automakers were developing the same technology at the same time, but competing. And some of them that had invested in battery tech earlier got a little ahead. So the North American charging standard was pretty much invented by Tesla, and it's the most efficient one. And so because they also were the fastest to get charging stations up, the other automakers, if they wanted to use them, were sort of forced to sell their customers converters so that they could use them in public. So now GM actually also announced this week that their 2027 model year vehicles are going to come standard with the classic inlets. And that's going to go a long way, but that's why they haven't standardized the chargers before now. It's like similar to why we have so many different auto companies. Everyone wants to make their own money and get their customers to do things their way. So
Has
this is
there
actually
has there been any discussion at the federal level of Congress trying to create a standard for EVs so that we can kind of accelerate the adoption by consumers?
well, the North American standard is where the industry is moving. It's the fastest and best one for customers. I think they've been more or less letting the market have its decision, making the consumer go the way that the automakers are pushing them, and without having the federal government get involved and more assistance with charging. That's sort of an administration to administration objective.
Jackie, beyond the vehicles, GM it seems like they're increasingly positioning itself as an energy company. A fascinating part of this announcement is this bi-directional charging. The idea that your vehicle could actually send power back to the grid of your home. How revolutionary could that become?
It would be dependent on people buying in, not just the actual EV customers, but the utility companies. There would be more of a federal standard to streamline this process needed. It's kind of complicated to participate today,
Hmm.
which is what GM has acknowledged. But the idea that you could sell your own energy back to DTE and save money on your bill, that is going to be more and more enticing as time goes on between data centers and this extraordinary grid strain that we're already facing. Energy bills are not going down anytime soon. And with climate change potentially making it hotter every year, the idea that our air conditioners are working overtime in summer is not a surprise to most.
Here in the United States, we don't have as much exposure to what China's doing in the EV market. And I've had some friends that are EV enthusiasts that have shown me, vehicles that we never see that China is producing. And I certainly read and hear about China wanting access to our market. How much further ahead is China, if they are ahead of us in terms of adopting EVs, but also the technology and the vehicles they're producing as compared to what we're producing?
I mean, they're ahead for a lot of reasons. There are far more incentives for their consumers to purchase their own companies' EVs, but I think it's waning now. They're sort of reaching a saturation point. But the idea is, the more I'm hearing about Chinese automobiles, and I was in one not too long ago, they are very nice vehicles. They do not take long to charge. They're built extremely well. But I wouldn't say that there's anything in them in particular that an US automaker couldn't duplicate themselves if they chose. But it's a lot of internal parts that make them cheaper to produce and a lot of great engineering that goes into quick deployment. But in terms of those articles about how it takes 5 minutes to fill up when charging, and the vehicle itself looks pretty great. There's a lot of technological components that we only see in high-end luxury vehicles here. It is certainly something that would entice a US buyer, even though they aren't available to them yet.
And Jackie, GM's research into these sodium ion batteries, we hear a lot about lithium shortages and supply chain concerns. Could these sodium ion batteries eventually, help lower the cost of EVs?
It's possible, but the technology isn't that new. There's been experimentation with sodium ion for decades. The reason it hasn't been in vehicles is because the energy density that's required is lower, meaning the battery itself has to be bigger and heavier. And when you're putting it in a car, you want your battery to be small and low weight so that the car can move more efficiently and burn less energy just getting around. But the fact that GM is investing in it for energy storage is a lot different. The idea is that because an energy storage system can be put anywhere, it doesn't have to move. It
Right.
can be as heavy as you want it. And Michigan has quite a lot of salt, and lithium mining is something that is not quite as energy and time efficient, and certainly not financially efficient.
Jackie Cherniga is automotive reporter for the Detroit Free Press. Jackie, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up at 7:49, we'll be joined by Bill Schuette, Bill G. Schuette. He is going to be talking about a ballot proposal to move the AG and Secretary of State to the primary ballot. We'll talk to him next at 7:49 on JR Morning.
Hi, it's Ryan Armani here. There's an amazing pain elimination treatment I use whenever I need it. It is safe, FDA-cleared, high-dose laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute in Farmington and Clinton Township. No drugs to get addicted to, no pain injections, no side effects, and no surgery. If you have arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or any other chronic pain, grab your phone, dial pound 250, and use the keyword laser to be connected to the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. WJR listeners get their first visit free, including a consultation and first treatment. The lasers at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute are the highest dose in Michigan. The staff's great, too. They help get rid of pain by treating the root cause, reducing inflammation, and regenerating tissue. I swear by it. So will you. Dial pound 250, keyword laser, and mention me for your first visit free. That's pound 250 with the keyword laser. Lose your pain and get your life back. Call now.
Here's Ryan Goldberg, President and CEO of DFCU Financial.
At DFCU, our credit union is all about our members and the community. We're not just focused on numbers and metrics, but we are focused on doing the right thing for our communities. That's why we pay back earnings to our members through a very popular cashback program.
How about small business owners? How do they benefit from being with DFCU?
Our business and commercial banking teams bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to benefit you. By understanding your unique financial needs, our team can deliver tailored lending solutions, deposit, and treasury management. Working with DFCU means you'll have access to decision makers and benefit from speed to market. We're in a strong liquidity position, and that means we have money to lend and the willingness to lend it. Business lenders often have a box that customers must fit into. We don't work that way.
Some restrictions apply. Visit dfcufinancial.com for details. DFCU Financial is an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA.
At Michigan Auto Law, we know a thing or two about winning. After all, we're Michigan's most awarded auto accident law firm. But what matters more than any trophy or title? The life-changing settlements we win for our clients year after year. Just ask Anastasia Perales.
Josh and Jordan were in constant contact with me, checking on my recovery, the kids, even how my injuries were affecting my daily life.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, go to autolaw.com. We'll fight for the settlement you deserve. Michigan Auto Law. People over everything.
I'm Eric Reno, owner of Paramount Roofing. We've protected thousands of homes, and right now, there has never been a better time to replace your roof.
Ryan Armani here, and Eric is not kidding. Paramount's biggest way to save means no money down and 0% interest for 5 full years. New roof, no catch.
Get a free estimate at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com.
Paramount Roofing, built to last, backed for life.
The ultimate fan experience, Cosm is coming to Detroit. Go beyond the screen for live sports, movies, art, and entertainment without ever leaving your seat. When you can't be there, be at Cosm.
Every day, unsung heroes are transforming our neighborhoods. And 760 WJR's Michigan Voices with me, Marie Osborne, is here to tell their stories. But we need your help to find them. Do you know a local nonprofit or other community organization making an impact? Help us shine a spotlight on their work. Email the details to michiganvoices@wjr.com. Let's join forces to amplify the people building a better Michigan. Michigan Voices, Sunday mornings at 5:30, only on 760 WJR.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by MGM Grand Detroit. It's Girls' Night. Outback with Thunder from Down Under. Australia's hottest export hits the stage Friday, July 10th at MGM Grand Detroit. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com. Must be 18 years or older.
Northbound 75 after Grand River, an accident off to the right shoulder has traffic slow from Rosa Parks. Southbound 275 slow between 7 Mile and M14. Same with eastbound 94 between Livernois and 14th Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. We've all heard the challenges of being a rental property owner, but rental income is a great way to build your investment portfolio. The key is to leave the management of your property to North Bloomfield Properties. They've been a trusted resource for rental owners for over 3 decades. Visit northbloomfield.com. Here's your forecast.
Heat advisory noon to 8 p.m. today. Scattered showers and storms for us here this morning, becoming sunny this afternoon, all the way up into the low 90s with the heat index approaching triple digits. Scattered showers and storms overnight tonight. Temperatures into the upper 60s. Morning clouds, afternoon sun. Mid-80s Friday. I'm Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Welcome back to JR Morning on a Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. And the ideal of the American dream has long been tied to one powerful image: owning a home, putting down roots, building a better future for the next generation. But in Michigan today, that dream feeling increasingly out of reach. Rising costs, higher property taxes, and first-time home buyers now averaging age 40. House Republicans are now pushing a plan they say would significantly cut property taxes and make home ownership more affordable. And joining us to talk about the proposal, the broader housing crisis, and what it will take to restore the dream of home ownership, Representative Bill G. Schuette of Michigan's 95th District. Bill, good to talk with you again.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on the show.
I was looking at the op-ed that you had in the Detroit News, and you connect home ownership directly to the American dream. Why do you believe that the dream feels increasingly out of reach for many Michiganians today?
Well, absolutely. And I think if you think about the American dream, it's about making sure that your children's lives and your life can be better tomorrow than it is today. And home ownership is so key to that because it's where you lay your head. It is for many people, myself included, the most valuable asset that they own. And it tends to grow and appreciate over time. And what we've seen, unfortunately, in the state of Michigan is that it's too expensive to own a home. It's too expensive to live in your home. And that's undermining directly the American dream.
I mean, many younger families, Bill, say they're doing everything right. I'm working hard, I'm saving money, but I just still can't afford a home. What's broken in the system?
Well, there's a lot of things that are broken in the system. For one, $100,000 to every single new single-family, multifamily home build is regulatory cost. And that's coming directly from the government. And that's why yesterday, I'm really glad we passed through the State House some basic procedures that say, hey, you have, if the government doesn't get you your permit in time, if they don't meet their own deadlines, you get your money back for that permit. That's a big shift to our bureaucratic culture to help us work on making life more affordable in Michigan. But it's also property taxes. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine, works at a bank in Midland, and he said, Bill, for so many of our first-time home buyers, the cost of their property taxes is higher than the principal and interest would be. We are pricing people out of the American dream. That is wrong.
Representative Jason Rowe, thanks for joining us this morning. You really hit the nail on the head on the property taxes. I moved here from San Diego 6 years ago, and every single thing that I pay for was cheaper in Michigan, except for one thing: property taxes. I pay about 20% more, and I had a house that cost twice as much in San Diego than the one that I live in here in Bloomfield Hills. And it just goes to show you how expensive owning a home, and I don't even have a mortgage, but I still pay a pretty good amount. But, another thing, too, is that this is a macroeconomic problem as well, and that is supply and demand. And one thing that has gotten harder and harder, and you spoke to it with the cost of building new homes, is we are not producing enough supply to keep up with the population growth in the United States. I mean, affordable housing is a real problem, and I talk to employers around the state that one of the struggles that they have in finding workforce is that they cannot find affordable housing in the area that they work. What other things can be done at the governmental level to try to alleviate that and get more supply?
Well, you're exactly right. I think in my neck of the woods, the Great Lakes Bay region, we're at like a 95% housing occupancy rate, and it's hard to attract people to move here when we're more expensive than California. I mean, my goodness, that's not a compelling pitch to families or to employers. We need to make it, yeah.
I was just
We
gonna
need to
say,
make it easier to build. Yeah.
on another topic, there is some discussion in Lansing that you're involved in. Michigan is one of 2 states in the entire country that still nominates candidates at political party conventions, both for the Democrats and Republicans. And 2 of those are Attorney General and Secretary of State. You're involved in these conversations. What are you looking to have happen, and what kind of frame are we looking at?
Well, Jason, I appreciate you bringing that up because there's 2 really key things that I'm focused on in this debate. And that's one, improving accountability in our education system. That's from our higher ed to our K through 12 education, and strengthening the integrity in our elections process. I mean, it's concerning to me that the candidate to secure the elections in Michigan on the Democrat side was nominated in a convention where somebody apparently voted from Montenegro. I mean, the convention process, especially on the Democratic side, is a complete mess. They have the multiple members of their own party, their leaders in their organization, calling for an audit, and they're just sweeping it under the rug because it was such a bad process. I mean, that's a disservice to the people of Michigan, and that really undermines faith and confidence in our elections. And then you talked about paying more in California. Well, we had the president of Michigan State University take an $800,000 pay cut just to get out of there, So we've got to really make sure we reform the way our university boards function in Michigan, and we nominate our AG and SOS, make sure we strengthen the integrity of the process.
And then you talk about nominations. The nominee for United States Senate for Republicans, Mike Rogers. You've got a very competitive Democratic primary with Abdul El Sayed, Mallory McMorrow, and Haley Stevens. Talk a little bit about that race and how you see Mike Rogers stacking up against one of those 3 candidates in November.
Well, I think Mike Rogers is definitely the fighter that Michigan needs. And you look over at the Democrat side, they are, just busy beating each other up, getting farther and farther to the progressive extreme left and getting farther away from what Michigan really needs. And that's somebody who's focused on Michigan priorities, affordability, making us a better state to build your family. We're 44th in the nation in education. And all the Democrats want to talk about is a war in the Middle East, and want to talk about, who's more beholden to, the radical Free Palestine movement. That's a really sharp dichotomy. You have one candidate, Mike Rogers, who's focused on Michigan, and you have, 3 candidates on the Democrat side who are focused on Israel versus Palestine.
Representative Bill G. Schuette, always a pleasure having you on JR Morning, and we hope to have you back again soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Before we go to the break, I just got to bring up the finals, the NBA finals last night. You were up late. I decided to go to bed at halftime, and then when I woke up, it was like the last seconds, and I'm like, and my wife is having a fit. She says, they were down 29 points and they came back. It was really historic. I mean, it's the largest comeback in finals history. And so they beat the Spurs 107-106. OG Anunoby was the hero. He tapped the ball in at like 1 second left or 1.2 seconds left, and they got it, man. So they're up 3-1. They could win it all.
I got to tell you, it was torment to watch the actual game. I think anybody would have been best off tuning in for the last 5 minutes because it was just a whooping through most of it. I twice cut away to watch full episodes of The Family Guy. I came back and still found it to be a 20-point lead and struggled to stay awake. But what a finish. We're 3-1. This thing could be done soon.
It could be done on Saturday. All right, coming up the 8 o'clock hour here on JR Morning, math scores for kids still low, not just because of the pandemic.
Jim Harper here, and I want to talk to those of you who've been caring for your folks. Maybe because of their age or health, they need a little extra care, so you visit them often. Maybe they're living with you. But if it's time for them to get quality professional care, I've got a tip for you. Rose Senior Assisted Living in Farmington Hills. I wish I'd known about Rose when Lynn's mom was with us. Doctors told us she needed more care than we could provide, and that's what Rose Senior Assisted Living has been doing. Cool apartments that are modern and clean and full of bright, cheery staff and residents. They'll have people attending all their needs, doctors available, and the food is first class. Call Rose at 248-522-2460. Set up an appointment to check them out. You will be impressed. They're on the web at farmingtonhills.roseseniorliving.com. Rose Senior Living, assisted living. Feels like family, feels like home. That's farmingtonhills.roseseniorliving.com.
Spring storms. 760 WJR will have you covered.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
WJR, Detroit.
Iran says the ceasefire is now practically meaningless. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. After the U.S. went on the attack again and Iran retaliated again, launching drones and missiles at Gulf countries with American bases, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait. Some were shot down. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson is at the White House.
For the second consecutive night, U.S. forces launching strikes, and that strike included launching Tomahawk cruise missiles from a U.S. warship. In a statement, Central Command said, quote, CENTCOM forces launched strikes on Iranian military surveillance capabilities, communication systems, and air defense sites across Iran.
President Trump called Fox's Trey Inks from the Situation Room during the bombing, saying, we hit them very hard.
Because they were unwilling to make a good faith deal at the negotiating table. And I asked the president, if they don't sign the deal, what's going to happen? And he said, we'll bomb the S out of them tomorrow night. And so clearly President Trump is keeping the military option on the table if the Iranians are unwilling to make those concessions.
India is upset over another U.S. strike in this conflict, one that killed 3 people on a ship.
The crew members died when a U.S. missile hit the engine room of the MT Setabello, an Indian-operated oil and chemicals tanker accused of trying to breach the blockade of Iranian ports. Their deaths confirmed today after being reported missing yesterday. India has lodged a strong protest to the strike. The U.S. said the vessel was carrying oil from Iran.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. While Iran insists it controls the Strait of Hormuz, blocking shipping, President Trump says a secret U.S. mission has escorted a lot of ships out, more than 200, carrying 100 million barrels of oil.
Late at night with no lights, because they don't have any radar, because we blasted the crap out of them.
Now, last night, the president posted on Truth Social a call for Republicans in Congress to approve $350 billion for the military. Using a reconciliation process Democrats cannot block. He also wants that to include new rules for voting, requiring ID and outlawing most mail-in balloting and no transgender athletes in women's sports. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America, sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026, dedicated to offering solutions to help businesses meet their goals locally and globally. More at bankofamerica.com/gamechangers. That's bankofamerica.com/gamechangers.
Northbound 75 after Grand River, a crash off to the right shoulder is causing delays to the Jeffries. Southbound 275 slope between 7 Mile and M14, as is the case on eastbound 94 between Warren Avenue and 14th Street. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by NECA IBEW Local 58. Count on the powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. A heat advisory is in effect beginning at noon today till 8 o'clock this evening. Heat index value is expected to once again hit near 100 degrees. Partly cloudy today and a high of 92. Right now it's 75. Late night thunderstorms possible tonight with a low of 69. Mostly sunny, cooler tomorrow, high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text NICE to 797-979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text NICE to 797-979 for a link to your exclusive offer. Text NICE to 797-979. That's NICE to 797-979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
It's another JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR and streaming on WJR.com, where Michigan comes to talk. Now, here's special guest host, political strategist Jason Rowe.
Good morning, Lloyd. Good morning, Detroit.
Good morning, everyone. It is a great morning right now. We could get some more stormy weather later today. It is warm, another heat advisory.
Well, then at
today.
least it'll be really humid.
Yeah, that it will be. I mean, for a long time before this current stretch hit, we had some great weather, and it was not humid. It just felt really good. It was warm, but it felt good.
Because it was so damn windy every day. This is the windiest spring I've seen in a long time.
But when you add that humidity to it, it feels a little different. And that storm yesterday caused some problems for multiple boats near Belle Isle. The Detroit Fire Department, the U.S. Coast Guard responded to the scene about 7:30 last night as those storms kind of moved through Wayne County, and officials say high winds and fast-moving weather flipped several vessels, sending 12 people plunging into the water. In total, 20 people were stranded on 7 different sailboats. According to authorities, all 12 people were successfully pulled from the river. Another 6 boaters, they managed to get back to shore, not being assisted, and there were no serious injuries, no deaths, so it turned out it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm still shocked. 20 people. That's a lot of people.
Absolutely.
For a very quick storm, too.
Very fast-moving storm. Also, a 10-day strike that threatened to cripple production at General Motors' most profitable trucks may soon be over. The UAW announcing a tentative agreement with American Axle in Three Rivers, highlighting the deal is a major wage hike, setting the new minimum shop floor pay at $30 an hour, reversing concessions made during the 2008 recession. The contract also guarantees steady health care premiums, extra holidays, and a $2,000 ratification bonus. About 1,000 workers walked out on May 31st, impacting parts for heavy-duty Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. Union members will now review the details before casting that final ratification vote to return to work.
Well, it's good news they get this buttoned up. The auto industry does not need any more pressures than what we've got already.
Absolutely. The city of Detroit has lost its battle against the U.S. Census Bureau over how the federal government counts its residents. A federal judge denied Detroit's motion to block the Bureau's controversial county cap rule. City officials argue that the rule systematically undercounts Detroit by artificially deflating city population numbers to fit lower county estimates, costing the city vital federal funding. Despite the loss, though, the city did win a major concession, forcing the Bureau to stop penalizing Detroit's numbers when abandoned homes are demolished. Even with the disputed formula, last estimates show Detroit's population grew to over 649,000 residents in 2025, marking its third consecutive year of growth.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of federal funding is tied to population, and Detroit's been pretty flat in revenues. We need the extra dollars here.
Federal testing data released yesterday shows U.S. math scores for 9 and 13-year-olds remain below levels seen a decade ago, raising concerns about long-term academic and economic impacts. The results come from the National Assessment of Education Progress Long-Term Trend Exam, which tracks student performance over decades. While 9-year-olds showed slight improvement in math and reading, scores for 13-year-olds have largely stagnated since 2012, with little change since the last assessment in 2023. Education officials say the lack of progress among middle school students is particularly troubling, with experts warning it could translate into lower lifetime earnings and workforce shortages in key industries like healthcare and technology and manufacturing. Researchers also estimate the broader economic impact could reach trillions of dollars in lost productivity over time. Officials say the data shows the challenge is no longer just pandemic related, but part of a longer term trend affecting student achievement nationwide.
Given dramatic increases in per pupil funding for public education, it is very disheartening that we are not seeing results from that additional dedication of resources. Things are flatlining at best, and deteriorating at worst.
Michigan State University trustee Rima Vassar threatening to sue the university, alleging years of discrimination and civil rights violations by the board and administration in a pre-litigation demand letter that was obtained through a public records request. Vassar's attorney claims the university and fellow trustees violated her First Amendment and due process rights and failed to follow board policy and actions taken against her. The letter, sent May 17th, gives MSU until June 17th to respond or face a federal lawsuit that could seek undisclosed damages, reimbursement of legal fees potentially exceeding $25 million, and restoration of trustee benefits that she lost after refusing to sign the revised code of conduct. Vassar, a former board chair, has been a controversial figure on the MSU Board of Trustees, previously facing investigations and internal disputes over ethics and governance. MSU has not publicly responded to the latest demand, and the university is, navigating some leadership changes right now. They're searching for their next president.
I don't agree with MSU's actions trying to silence a duly elected trustee, but the reality is that she was targeted not for who she is, but how she's behaved, and she has been corrosive on that board. She's been a real liability for the university, and she's largely responsible for Kevin Guskowitz leaving Michigan State, taking an $800,000 pay cut to go to Clemson.
A federal jury has indicted 8 people in connection with what prosecutors described as a coordinated campaign of threats, intimidation, and vandalism targeting Jewish institutions, the University of Michigan, and law enforcement officials. The U.S. Department of Justice says the alleged activity included online and in-person threats, property damage, and intimidation tied to perceived financial support of Israel following the October 7th, 2023 Hamas attack. Prosecutors also allege discussions of extreme methods of harm in efforts to intimidate witnesses. The defendants include 8 individuals from Michigan and other states, mostly in their 20s, with 4 from Ann Arbor. FBI raids were carried out in Ypsilanti earlier this week, and U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon called the conduct anti-American, saying intimidation will be met with justice. The case remains under federal review.
Yeah, it's terrifying how anti-Semitism has grown in the United States, particularly among younger people.
The city of Mackinac Island, along with the Arnold Transit Company and Shepler's Mackinac Island Ferry, have agreed to enter mediation as they work toward a long-term agreement on ferry service beyond 2027. The move was announced by the Fair Access to Mackinac Island Coalition, which says it is encouraged both sides are coming to the table to pursue a fair and stable solution for residents and visitors. Ferry service will continue during the 2026 season, while discussions focus on pricing, operations, and future access to the island. The companies involved say Their priority remains providing safe, reliable, and affordable transportation to Mackinac Island. The mediation comes after recent state legislation gave island voters a potential role in regulatory ferry operations, including fares and related fees, as negotiations continue between the city and ferry operators.
You know, one of the cool things about Mackinac throughout history is it's been accessible to just about everybody, no matter where you are in the socioeconomics of our state. And one of the troubling things over the last few years is as private equity has gobbled up the Grand Hotel and Mission Point and other things, including the ferries, it's getting cost prohibitive for an average income family to go to Mackinac anymore. I mean, I think the ferry, just that alone is, I think, doubled in the last few years. It's going to become a playground for the rich, and most people aren't going to be able to access it anymore.
And the biggest tournament in sports is officially underway. 2026 FIFA World Cup has kicked off with a record-breaking 48 teams competing across Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Co-host Mexico faced South Africa in Mexico City to launch the historic 104-match tournament, which will wrap up with the final in New Jersey on July 19th. A lot of people are going to be watching it here, a lot of places to watch it, and it'll be on TV as well. Fox is going to be carrying all the games, and so we'll be checking out FIFA.
Maybe I'll watch a game. One.
Coming up, we're going to be talking to someone that you know who had a relative have an issue with a particular drug that's sold at gas stations.
Yeah, it's I didn't know anything about Kratom until Lindsay Palzerok's sister had issues, and Lindsay's going to talk about that.
All right, Lindsay's coming up next at 8:19, JR Morning.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out not for everyone, because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Hi, this is Paul W. Smith. I've talked to you about Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute for years about how his non-invasive, non-surgical intradisc neutrosis treatment stimulates the body's natural healing process and has helped thousands of people reduce and end their chronic back and neck pain without drugs, shots, or downtime. This new Google review says it better than anyone. Quote, "It's a year now. My spinal stenosis, herniated disc, and sciatica pain have been relieved. I'm not taking any drugs anymore and no surgery. What a huge difference. I'm 99% pain-free." End of quote. Wow. Plus, Dr. Kogan's gentle, non-surgical Knee Restore RX treatment helps get rid of severe knee pain from osteoarthritis and meniscus tears. Mention WJR in June and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 on your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC.
Hey there, WJR listeners. Chris Alberta here at Principium. Listen, your bucket of money, that precious little gem that's taken you a lifetime to accumulate, has been growing. And if you're anything like all of my clients, you were worried that it might not be enough to supplement your retirement, especially if the markets have a downturn. All these incredible investment and insurance tools these days, they've been designed to address specific problems and concerns. But most folks I see every week, they have the wrong stuff. You know why? Because no one's taking the time to actually invest in them and diagnose the actual problem, the actual concern. Yeah, look, my process, it's laborious, but it's worth it. The results and the peace of mind are a byproduct of us learning together. If you're retired or nearing retirement, it's time for you to dig in with me. We can increase the reward and we can decrease the risk. It's a win-win. So stop going to steak dinners, free steak dinners offered by financial salespeople. Invest in yourself with me at my office on your timetable with zero pressure. Call me today, Chris Alberta at Principium, 1-888-800-8949.
I'm Dr. Phil Knight with my co-host Jerry Brisson. What if we told you hunger in America is a problem we can actually solve?
I'd believe it. That's the mission behind Food Secure Nation, our weekly broadcast where we sit down with leaders, innovators, and everyday heroes who are tackling food insecurity head on.
It's not just talk, it's action, inspiration, and a roadmap to a healthier, more dignified future for all. Even more, it gives us possibilities to help our neighbors who have a little more month than money.
And it's casual, humorous, and as you say, Doctor, puts the cookies on the right shelf so that everyone interested in a food secure nation can understand more and do better.
We welcome you to join the conversation.
Food Secure Nation, sponsored by Know Better, Do Better, Sundays at 9 on 760 WJR, and wherever you get your podcasts.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
No crashes on the roads right now. However, slow travel on eastbound 94 between Warren Avenue and 14th Street. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair. Left lane closed till this afternoon. Right lane closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner till 3 o'clock tomorrow. And also 4th Street northbound between Rosa Parks and 6th Street. Right lane is closed there till Saturday. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by University of Michigan. Dedicated to putting research into action, from bringing Braille into the digital world to warming newborns without electricity and working to build a stronger Great Lakes economy. Learn more at umich.edu/look. This message sponsored by University of Michigan's Michigan Creative. Here's your forecast.
Hot and humid for us here today with a heat advisory noon to 8 p.m. Scattered showers and storms this morning. Sunshine this afternoon. Low 90s. Heat index approaching triple digits. More showers and storms overnight tonight. Upper 60s. Morning clouds, afternoon sun. Low to mid 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Join us in Focus Thursday, noon till 2. We'll welcome Rachel Stewart with Mark Hackle. What do they have up their sleeves? Something about life jackets? And then our gas buddy, Patrick DeHaan, and so much more. Noon to 2, Thursday, Focus with Paul W. Smith, WJR.
Welcome back to JR Morning on a Thursday. And across Michigan, Kratom is being sold openly in gas stations and convenience stores, often marketed as this natural energy or wellness product. But for some families, the consequences have been devastating. Advocates say what looks harmless on the shelf can quickly lead to dependence, withdrawal, and serious health risks, sparking a growing push for legislative action in Lansing. And joining us now is Michigan policy advocate Lindsay Paulsrock, who has a deeply personal connection to this issue and is calling for urgent reform. Lindsay, it's good to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Your perspective on Kratom comes from both personal experience and policy work. How did these two worlds kind of collide for you, and when did you realize this needed to become a public issue for you?
Yeah, thank you. And that's right. It is personal in both in my career sense of being a policy advocate in Michigan, as well as what my family experienced. About 3 years ago, my only sister got extraordinarily ill, mentally and physically, in the point where our family was really in crisis. And we learned that her addiction withdrawals that she was going through and physical symptoms were from an unregulated product called Kratom. In this point in time, it was a brand called Feel Free that you can buy at any gas station. And it was unbelievable to realize that something that now up to 50 times stronger than morphine is sitting on the counters of gas stations, liquor stores, smoke shops in Michigan, and no one's doing anything about it. So at that point in time, I really dug in to do the research about what other states had done, what the feds are doing, and where we are in Michigan, and was pretty appalled. And now I'm going to talk to anyone and everyone to tell them about it, to make sure we can get something happening here.
Lindsay, Jason Rowe, thank you for being on with us this morning and sharing this story. I'd never even heard of Kratom until I read your op-ed in Bridge, Michigan a few months ago, and know that Speaker Matt Hall has been a champion and helped get legislation through the House. How is it, one, that it's not regulated, and how is it that the Senate has not passed this legislation? I know there's other Midwestern states that have banned kratom, but you and I are both parents of teenage boys, and I'm kind of terrified to know that they would be able to go into a gas station and access something like this.
Yeah, Jason, I mean, those are great questions, but the answers are pretty unsatisfying. Number one, I'd say this isn't because people like you and I haven't heard of this. The industry's gotten really far ahead in terms of misinformation and deception. So not only that there's no awareness, but then they're often getting misinformation. Again, my sister who eats organic and uses glass instead of plastic, she was being micro-targeted as someone that would be using this as a wellness, alternative to pharmaceuticals or whatever, things around natural energy, et cetera. And frankly, something like bath salts, what we know used to be in the same place on the gas station shelves and has been banned. There was a big event that happened. A guy ate someone's face on bath salts, right? And then there was outrage, and it was dealt with immediately. Well, kratom has had kind of a slower, longer burn of people suffering and dying and becoming addicted. And your question about the Senate, I don't know the answer, Jason, but I think unfortunately this partisan gridlock has so desensitized everyone to kind of what should be the basic mom and apple pie. Like everyone agrees with this. This is not partisan type of issue. That there's complacency in just letting it sit just because the Republican House passed this bill.
Industry supporters, argue that regulation and not prohibition is the answer. And from your perspective, is there a version of regulation that would ever be strong enough to protect consumers?
I'll say this. In general, when industry shows up with some policy ideas to regulate themselves, ask a lot of questions. But the reality is that this is, again, you've got products and alkaloids and now hyper concentrates that are up to 50 times as stronger than morphine over the counter. And you've got a gas station attendant selling it to you, by the way, not a pharmacist. We have to take a massive pause. Could there be any redeemable qualities about kratom and its use in the future after real studies, actual human trials? Maybe, but in the meantime, you don't just let average people walk in and legally become accidentally addicted or overdose on a product that we know enough to know is really harmful and deadly. So I think a ban is absolutely where municipalities and other states are going. It's where we need to go. I think that's it.
Well, I think it's remarkable that something as potent as this is sold over the counter. I mean, to me, it would be the kind of thing, if it has a real use to help with pain management, as the advocates of kratom have represented, you think it would be something that would be prescribed by a doctor. I don't know a lot of people that when looking for pain management go to their local mobile station to buy kratom. So it really is remarkable. I mean, you talk to legislators. You're a very respected voice in Lansing, former executive at the Detroit Chamber and business leaders of Michigan. I mean, what do legislators tell you that are not supportive of the ban or at least regulating?
Well, unfortunately, most of them who are not supportive won't talk to me. And that's a problem.
And what's that tell you? What does that tell you?
Right. And I really just urge others who have either had experience with this. I mean, this is a very hard thing for families because there's a lot of shame involved, because my poor sister tried to detox herself probably 10 times before she ever even came out and told us what was happening. Because who wants to be accidentally addicted to something at a gas station? And that's, she has to now go through full heroin, oxy protocols at detox at the psych hospital. I mean, that's insane, right? And so we've got to talk about it. We need more voices. It can't just be me. I have a lot of friends, but not everybody likes me. That's okay. But this is kind of a fact-based stuff. But to your point, Jason, I just say there's very few arguments for keeping this stuff around. Well, it helps pain. Again, you got to see your doctor, not your gas station. Well, it helps me get off heroin. Well, it actually doesn't. And no recovery or mental health person would ever say that. Like, you end up in detox for kratom alone. Then great, But lastly, well, it'll go to the black market. And I say send kratom to the black market. What is so devastating here is the access plus the deception that lulls all these people into thinking this must be okay. And it's devastating. So yeah, the Senate needs to act. This is a crisis, and we don't have a lot more time.
What can listeners do to help?
Well, they can Google contact your senator in Michigan. You'll right up there, you put in your address, it'll populate and show you who your senator is. And we've got to move forward on having hearings and actual discussions about this in the Senate, but really it's an urgent issue. So ideally, just please contact your senator and ask them to ban Kratom. And if we want to study this and the FDA wants to look at it, which right now they say it's just a bunch of warnings about how harmful it is, great. But right now, we got to put a pause button on the sickness, the addiction, and the death related to Kratom in Michigan.
Michigan policy advocate Lindsay Paulsrock. We appreciate you coming on, giving us this information, and hope your sister's doing better. And thank you so much for being here.
She's doing great. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah, something has to be done. You shouldn't go to the gas station to get on something that gets you hooked.
I don't even know how this is hard. This
Absolutely.
shouldn't even be hard.
Mark Hollis is going to join us next, talk about the Rocket Mortgage Classis.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This is Mark Snethkamp of the Snethkamp Automotive family. We've served Michigan customers for over 100 years. We opened our first dealership in 1926. 4 generations later, Snethkamp is still the name to trust when buying your next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. Visit us during the Make This the Summer Sales event, happening now at one of our 4 locations: Highland Park, Gaylord, Midland, or Redford.
Snethkamp, Metro Detroit's original. Snethkamp.
Custom built for Detroit. 760 WJR.
The ultimate fan experience, Cosm is coming to Detroit. Go beyond the screen for live sports, movies, art, and entertainment without ever leaving your seat. When you can't be there, be at Cosm.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. For a second straight night, U.S. forces launched strikes into Iran.
USS Michael Murphy, a Guided missile destroyer, launching Tomahawks into Iran, hitting targets outside the capital. In a statement, Central Command said, quote, CENTCOM forces launched strikes on Iranian military surveillance capabilities, communication systems, and air defense sites across Iran.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House. Strikes follow the downing of a U.S. Army helicopter earlier this week.
My understanding is that there's a new equation for the Iranians because they were unwilling to make a good faith deal at the negotiating table. And I asked the president, if they don't sign the deal, what's going to happen? And he said, we'll bomb the S out of them tomorrow night.
And President Trump calling Fox's Trey Yanks from the Situation Room. More than 150 million Americans under the risk of severe storms today in at least 20 states. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. We mean business.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Currently crash-free on the roadways. Eastbound 94, a little bit slow this morning between Warren Avenue and 14th Street. 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis and Fair. Left lane closed for construction till this afternoon. Right lane is closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner until 3 o'clock tomorrow. Right lane also closed on northbound 4th Street between Rosa Parks and 6th until Saturday. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Heat advisory in effect beginning at noon today till 8 o'clock this evening. Heat index values Valley is once again expected to hit near 100 degrees. Partly cloudy today with a high of 92. Right now it's 74. Late night thunderstorms possible tonight with a low of 69. Then mostly sunny, cooler tomorrow, high of 82. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Michigan summers mean outdoor adventure and fun, but high temperatures shouldn't break your budget. Count on Consumers Energy to help you make the most of this season in your budget with tips and ways to save. Making small changes like shifting some energy use to the morning or evening, raising your thermostat a couple of degrees, doing laundry at night or on the weekends can help lower your bill while keeping your home comfortable. Discover more ways to beat the heat at consumersenergy.com/summer.
Hi, this is Paul W. Smith. I've talked to you about Dr. Saul Kogan at the Nerve and Disc Institute for years about how his
Let me know when you're ready. Ready? Okay. Friday on JR Morning, we'll be joined by special guest co-host Matt Elliott. We'll talk about data centers, learn why childhood food insecurity rises in the summer, and hear more about the Move Detroit effort right here from 6 till 9 a.m. on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
meniscus tears. Mention WJR in June and get a consultation, exam, X-ray or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 on your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Call 586-416-DISC.
Listen in for the Cranes Detroit interview with Mike Lee every Monday morning on JR Morning. Brought to you in partnership with Mercantile Bank. Looking for a new business bank? Mercantile can help drive your business forward. Learn more at mercbank.com.
Hi, it's Ryan Armani here. There's an amazing pain elimination treatment I use whenever I need it. It is safe, FDA-cleared, high-dose laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute in Farmington and Clinton Township. No drugs to get addicted to, no pain injections, no side effects, and no surgery. If you have arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or any other chronic pain, grab your phone, dial pound 250, and use the keyword laser to be connected to the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. WJR listeners get their first visit free, including a consultation and first treatment. The lasers at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute are the highest dose in Michigan. The staff's great, too. They help get rid of pain by treating the root cause, reducing inflammation, and regenerating tissue. I swear by it. So will you. Dial pound 250, keyword laser, and mention me for your first visit free. That's pound 250 with the keyword laser. Lose your pain and get your life back. Call now.
Meet Mount Pleasant and discover adventure around every corner. Tee off at one of the area's championship golf courses and end the night in downtown Mount Pleasant, filled with great dining and nightlife. Visit meetmtp.com and discover all that Central Michigan has to offer.
America 250, Michigan made.
One of the most life-saving medical innovations to come out of America came from a young man out of Southeast Michigan. Years before anyone had heard of the COVID-19 virus, this young man was working in a biology lab, the kind of place where scientists map out viruses molecule by molecule. And there, he figured out a tiny trick. By swapping in just 2 building blocks of a protein, he could freeze a coronavirus long enough for the human body to recognize it and fight back. And when the pandemic hit, that trick became the heart of every COVID vaccine approved in America, credited with saving nearly 20 million lives in its first year. This young man studied at Wayne State University in Detroit, is a product of public schools in Macomb County, and today he teaches at the University of Texas at Austin. His name, Dr. Jason McClellan, a Michigan mind who helped save the world.
America 250, Michigan made. From 760 WJR. Stick around for All Talk at 9 with Kevin Dietz. Then Focus with Paul W. Smith at noon on 760 WJR and on the WJR app. Now it's JR Morning. Here's Chris Renwick. Lloyd Jackson and Jamie Edmonds. Once again, here's special guest host, political strategist Jason Rowe.
Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning, sir.
What do you got planned this weekend?
This weekend is going to be a party for me.
Do tell.
This weekend.
What are we?
My birthday was June 4th.
70th?
60.
Oh, okay.
60. And so we're going to have a little party this weekend, a 70s, 80s party.
Damn.
So you either come dressed 70s or come dressed 80s, and we'll be listening to 70s and 80s
That is
music.
2 good decades of style.
Oh, man. That's just fun. And, both of those decades were mine and my older brothers and sisters, and and the music that they played that I listened to as a kid, and then in the 80s I'm in high school, and I'm listening to some of that. So it's just and the thing is, my kids who are grown now, were born in, my oldest son was born in the late 80s, and then my other 2 kids were born in the 90s. They listen to the 70s and 80s music. They they might listen to some of the music that's out now. They really don't care. They like that music because
my 16-year-old knows a lot of 70s and 80s music.
Sure,
Yeah.
because that's probably music that you play that they hear, and I think my kids just have old souls.
Well, I also think about when we were growing up, we didn't have as many musical options. I mean, the radio didn't play these things.
True.
I mean, I've told you before, I grew up in Lansing. I used to drive to Brighton Saturday nights with my boombox to tape the electrifying Mojo and the Wizard on WJLB, WHYT.
Oh, yeah.
But think now at this age, like that's another 50 plus years of music that our kids will be exposed to that, we were not. We weren't raised with that kind of musical options.
No, definitely not. And just the way you get music nowadays compared to, the streaming, and the kids are used to that. But
you don't have that hi-fi anymore.
Oh, I do. It just sits there. It's kind of like a piece of furniture there. I do, but it's not the same for me. I love going into the music stores and rummaging through the albums,
wreck a stove.
Oh, exactly. The 45s and everything. The 8 tracks, because I was around when my dad would take us on trips, and we were talking about the group Chicago earlier. Those are trip songs that my father would play on the 8 track while we were on the road.
That was usually your 11 8 tracks for a penny from Columbia House.
For Columbia House, and
we all had the same 11 too. Because there weren't that many choices.
No, it wasn't, and you probably sent in that penny, and you probably never did send in anything else.
Sent in a lot of pennies.
Yes. Sports, in the sports realm, FIFA begins today. Everybody's been talking about it. Finally gets underway today. The 2026 FIFA World Cup kicked off with this record-breaking 48 teams competing across Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Co-host Mexico faced South Africa in Mexico City to launch this historic 104-match tournament, which will wrap up with the final in New Jersey on July 19th. So soccer fans here in Detroit, because they are a lot, they can catch the action at several local hotspots, including a massive kickoff party that's going to be at the Brakeman downtown. Patio viewing will be at Sean O'Callahan's in Plymouth, and match events at Chiang Mai in Farmington Hills, and just about any other sports bar that you go into. They're going to have FIFA on. It's going to be on Fox, and you can watch it at home if you like. All the games will be there, so you can catch it. And it's really big having all of these different countries in different places playing.
Well, it's pretty amazing when you see how spread across the entire country these teams are lodging for these competitions. How's the U.S. men's team expected to fare?
I believe they're playing. It's either tonight or tomorrow night against Paraguay. I think. From what I understand, they seem to be a good team and doing well. Now, I was watching TV this morning, and they had the flag for Paraguay and the flag for the United States, and they had puppies, determining, which one would be best. The puppies didn't go towards the United States very much, so I don't know what that means. I'm just saying,
I think I'd rather watch puppies than soccer.
Oh my God! And last night, I mean, it's just really historic. I mean, even if you were not a basketball fan, if you watched this game last night to see how it ended. Now, maybe during the actual game, it probably wasn't
It
too
was
much to
painful.
look out,
Yeah, it's
to
painful.
look at, because people were just, the Knicks were just getting beat down. But it was like a record-breaking comeback in the finals. The New York Knicks rallied from 29 points down, the largest comeback in finals history. They beat the San Antonio Spurs 107-106. The hero of the night, OG Anobi, who capped off this 33-point performance by executing a clutch chase down block, followed by a game-winning right-handed tip-in with just 1.2 seconds left on the clock. The miraculous Game 4 victory at Madison Square Garden gives the Knicks a commanding 3-1 series lead. Finals goes back to San Antonio on Saturday. They could win it all on Saturday. New York would be crazy. They have not won a championship since 1973.
And the Pistons can beat these Knicks.
Yes, they beat them 3 times during the regular season.
And we should have beat them last year. If we were healthy, we would have been national champs last year.
Definitely. So who's on the line with us right now, Jason?
Oh, we got Mark Hollis here to talk about the Rocket Mortgage Classic coming up. This is, I think, one of the funnest things that we have in Metro Detroit. Sad to see that this will be the last year. But Mark, welcome. Tell us what to expect and who we're going to see out there golfing this year.
Well, it's great to be with you, Jason, and I apologize. Lloyd called and he wanted a little extra time to talk about the game. So,
you just telling all my
held off
secrets.
a little bit on timing. Give me some time, Mark. We are really excited about the 26 Rocket Classic. Going to be the best field that we've had in our history, 8 years here in Detroit. Some of the fun things we've done is new parking locations out at Lawrence Tech and Oakland Mall. It makes it a lot more convenient for folks coming in. Ticket prices are among the most affordable on the PGA Tour. That's a decision we made quite some time. And as you mentioned, while this is the final edition of the Rocket Classic here at the Detroit Golf Club, there's so much that's been accomplished with this event over the years. $10 million, changing the digital inclusion equation here in the city of Detroit, as well as helping a lot of youth groups from College Career and Beyond or Midnight Golf, First Tee, Detroit Pal. It's been fun to be part of this, and in no way are we stepping back from Detroit. There's a lot more great things to do, and Rocket Entertainment Group and Rocket, of course, our leader, Dan Gilbert, we're all fired up and ready to keep this city thriving.
And Mark, the original mission was to put a national spotlight on the city of Detroit. You feel that mission has been fully achieved?
Yeah, I've stated, right up front that between the Detroit Grand Prix and the Rocket Classic, it's the reason we got the NFL draft. It's the reason we got the Final Four. It was kind of the start of the resurgence of big sporting events being in Detroit. And while professional golf is going through a lot of changes, I think it's time for us to step back and pause. And the leadership with Rocket and everyone else agrees that there's so much to accomplish here. You look at when this event started in 2019 and what's happened with this city, and that CBS spotlight has really helped, and it's brought other events to Detroit in a big way.
Tell us about some of the golfers we'll see out there this year.
Well, we have our media day. We've announced 6 of them already, but we have our media day, and we're going to have a really big announcement about something we're doing downtown that's going to be a lot of fun and capture some attention. But Cam Young, he's ranked 3rd in the world. You've got Ricky Fowler, of course, who comes back every year. Tony Finau, who's a fan favorite. You've got Russell Henley, who's ranked 8th in the world. Xander Schauffele, who's right around 10. So you've got some of the biggest names that are coming in. The beauty of the event is it's now later. It's usually right around the 4th of July or the last week of June. We're now toward the last week of July 30th to August 2nd. Better for people that live here because of the desire to go up north around that 4th of July time, whether you have a place or not. But also for players, you're going to see a lot of players dropping in the last couple of weeks as they're trying to pick up those coveted FedEx Cup points to either get in the FedEx Cup playoffs, which start 2 weeks later, or stay in with the top 70 making the field.
And Mark, the one thing I just really love about the tournament, and I think you mentioned this, is the way the tournament gave back, and it gives back to the city, and that bridging that digital divide, which was so very important, and it really made a difference.
It really is, and that's the core. As you look at what Dan's done across many programs, not just the Rocket Classic, what he has provided for the city and will continue to provide is remarkable. I don't know of another individual that has done so much and cares so much about every resident, about every visitor that comes to the city. And that's the beauty of what this event did for the 8 years of its existence. And we're going to hit it with a really big pop this year and make it the best Rocket Classic Detroit's ever seen. And, you know, a celebration, a party of such, good things start, good things end, and yet there's going to be something right on the tail that's going to pick up the pieces.
Mark Hollis, Rocket Mortgage Classic Tournament Director, also host of JR Sunday on WJR.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here, buddy.
And I'm a big fan of Jason. My dad was a lobbyist for Macomb Schools, and I love his insight. I just sit back and I learn something every day. If you can't have Chris Renwick, you better have Jason.
See, you took that call from Jason for you to say that too. I know how that worked. Okay. All right, Mark. Have a good one, buddy. See you later. All right. Coming up, we have a WJR Sweet Deal for you from Guernsey Farms Dairy. We'll talk to someone from there. 8:49. That Sweet Deal coming up next on JR Morning.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Detroit at 313-312-0950. That's 313-312-0950. 313-312-0950. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdetroit.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores.
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
When people power education, we all move forward. The Skillman Foundation brings people together as a force for change, connecting students, families, and educators with policy movers to ensure real-life insights shape the future of our schools. Listen to the Skillman Foundation's show, Our State of Education, to hear what's happening in Michigan schools and what you can do to support today's children and tomorrow's leaders. Our State of Education on 760 WJR or on your favorite podcast platform.
Hi, it's Ryan Armani here. There's an amazing pain elimination treatment I use whenever I need it. It is safe, FDA-cleared, high-dose laser treatment at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute in Farmington and Clinton Township. No drugs to get addicted to, no pain injections, no side effects, and no surgery. If you have arthritis, sciatica, neuropathy, or any other chronic pain, grab your phone, dial pound 250, and use the keyword laser to be connected to the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute. WJR listeners get their first visit free, including a consultation and first treatment. The lasers at the Nerve and Disc Laser Institute are the highest dose in Michigan. The staff's great, too. They help get rid of pain by treating the root cause, reducing inflammation, and regenerating tissue. I swear by it. So will you. Dial pound 250, keyword laser, and mention me for your first visit free. That's pound 250 with the keyword laser. Lose your pain and get your life back. Call now.
Detroit, is it getting hot in here? Get ready to learn some country grammar as Nelly comes to Comerica Park Friday, June 19th for the Tigers' first Sounds of Summer post-game concert of 2026, presented by Rocket. There are limited VIP field passes remaining to see the show up close. Get ready to sing these songs over and over again Friday, June 19th. Learn more at tigers.com/Sounds of Summer now.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Pro-Life Across America.
Hi, I'm Angie. Did you know a billboard can save a baby's life? It's true. You can make a difference by helping us spread the pro-life message to reach those who are struggling with an unplanned pregnancy. Please make a gift today. Visit prolifeacrossamerica.org.
Eastbound M14 between Sheldon Road and 275. We're seeing slow traffic today, as well as slow travel on northbound 275 between Ford Road and M14. Also, 8 Mile in both directions between St. Louis Street and Fair. Left lane closed for construction till this afternoon. Right lane closed on eastbound M59 before Shaner till 3 o'clock tomorrow. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms possible for us here this morning, becoming sunny this afternoon, hot and humid with a heat advisory in effect. Low 90s, heat index approaching triple digits. More showers and storms overnight tonight, upper 60s. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, breezy, cooler, low to mid 80s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Welcome back to JR Morning. It's a classic Michigan summer tradition, family outings, ice cream cones, hometown favorites, and now there's a special way for listeners to enjoy it all while saving a little money. Starting today at 9, WJR and Guernsey Farms Dairy launching a sweet deal. $50 gift card available for just $25. Good at the Northville Scoop Shop and Restaurant. And joining us now is Joe Kinville with Guernsey Farms Dairy to talk about the deal. Joe, good to talk with you.
Yes, good morning, fellas. Happy Thursday to you.
Oh, man, I can't wait, man, to get a little bit of that ice cream. This sweet deal, oh boy, and this partnership with JR, man, it's a really good deal. $25, listeners get $50 gift card. Go a lot with that.
Heck yeah, it's a great deal, especially with this warm weather and the humidity. Nothing better than a nice scoop of ice cream or a lemonade or a chocolate milk to start the summer off right.
Joe, you're third generation owner. How did Guernsey Farms get started? What's the history?
Well, we're coming up on 90 years of being in business. My grandparents started the dairy in 1940. They had 14 kids. All 14 were a part of it at some point. Today, my mom, who is the youngest of that generation, is the only one left still working. And then it's me and my brother and a couple cousins taking it over and trying to be here for another 90 years. So very much still family owned and operated. That's very important to who we are.
And are any of you lactose intolerant?
No. No, I don't think that would be it's definitely a job requirement that you gotta enjoy dairy products.
And you got everything from like this award-winning ice cream. You got chocolate milk, lemonade that's known even on Mackinac Island. I mean, what's the secret behind like keeping quality so consistent across all of these different products you have?
Well, it really starts at the source. So just like everything else, good quality raw ingredients is what makes us successful. So we buy milk from a farm in Grand Rapids. They do a fantastic job. So we're bringing in a really quality raw milk. And then from there, just our process of trying to keep things as fresh as possible. We really are able to get milk out of a cow, pasteurized, packaged, and on a shelf in just about a 24-hour period. So there's a lot of things that go into it. And it's a lot of hard work, but we're happy to do it, and we're happy to serve our community.
Well, Joe, we want to remind listeners, starting at 9 a.m., you can go on WJR.com, WJR and Guernsey Farms Dairy, launching the sweet deal, a $50 gift card available for just $25. You cannot beat it. It is hot outside. You want some ice cream, some good lemonade, some good chocolate milk. This is the time to get this gift card and really shop, and have a good time. Joe Kenville with Guernsey Farms Dairy. We appreciate you coming on. Thanks for the sweet deal.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Have a good one. It is a sweet deal, especially today. So what are your plans today? You're going to take a road trip, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm about to jump in the car and spend 8 hours driving to Baltimore for a lacrosse tournament.
Oh, man.
95 degrees in Baltimore this weekend. So I got my tank top and my Speedo for the side.
Okay. You got that visual, everybody?
You got it.
Oh, man. Jason Rowe, good to have you, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Love to have you here.
My friend Matt Elliott's going to be on tomorrow. Tell him hello. He's got a book coming out, The Power of And. He's a great human being.
Okay. We're going to look forward to that. All Talk is next.
A better life with Dr. Sam